Hey everybody, we're back. Hopefully the internet's working today. This has not been a good month for my streaming, between people getting sick at the house and then having lots of people at the house and then the internet dropping.
Hello there, friend. I believe we have that new medicine in stock that you were asking about. That was you, wasn't it?
It's not been a good month. So today I'm going to work on the Cloak of the Harvester here on Kalladim. I might do more than that, but that's pretty much the plan for today, so we'll see how it goes. And I started on it yesterday, or not yesterday, day before yesterday, off stream. See right there, gathering obsession. So I finished the first step. That's why it's grayed out, because it's the first step. So if you've never done the Cloak of the Harvester quest, what it gives you is the Cloak of the Harvester, which has, if you don't turn your illusions off, when you use it, it turns you into a giant rock. But it gives you a bonus to your harvesting and whatnot. If you turn off your illusions when you use it, then you just become larger. So I need to go to, where am I going? I'm doing wrong server. I need to go out into the steps. He said we're running off the side there. So we gotta run out here, go into Antonica, catch the griffin, fly to the steps, fly to the docks and the steps, and then use the bell to go to Isle of Mara to turn this first one in. So what the heck? I always have these turned off. Why are they on? Alright. Make sure the pet's following. Alright, so the Cloak of the Harvester quest, pretty much, it's not a... Darkheart, thanks for the bits! Welcome to the stream. The Cloak of the Harvester is not a difficult quest. It's only difficult in that you have to harvest a lot of stuff. So today is going to be a very laid back, mostly harvesting, I think, stream. Darkheart and his bits, I tell you. If you haven't seen Darkheart streams, make sure that you follow Darkheart Rising. He does streams on his artwork and his writing his book. Someday I'll figure out how that all works, Darkheart. Flying over Antonica. There's the bales of Van Halen. When I first started streaming, I was streaming this character on this server, and I had my AA points turned way up. Yeah, like right now it's all going to, I had it like here. 80% of my experience was going straight to my AA points, because I wanted to be able to hit every quest in the zone that I was in. And then my nephew and my cousin got on, and then plans changed. Am I on my mount? Yeah, I'm running faster. Yesterday I was going to get on and I was on YouTube. 3.5 chapters to go. Yep. Wow. The older cat just came into the room hissing like she was attacking something, but there was nothing in front of her. Okay. So yesterday I was watching YouTube because I watch a lot of YouTube. And the video I was watching wouldn't stop loading. It would run. It was like it used to be when we were on the satellite internet, where it would play for 30 seconds and then load for 2 minutes and then play for 30 seconds and then load for 2 minutes. So I went out and asked my wife. I go, "Do you have any issues with the internet out here?" And she said, because I was thinking maybe it was just something wrong with my computer. And she said that her Neverwinter wouldn't let her log in at all.
Well met.
I was like, well, we're having internet problems then apparently. And she said, on Facebook, a lot of people in town were saying the internet is having major issues. So rather than stream and have a stream go for 15 minutes and then shut it down because I lost connectivity again, I just decided, I'll just put up a little note saying that and there may not be any stream today because internet issues, and then that's how it was most of the day. So this month has been awful. I mean, after getting sick and then me being sick, and then my wife being sick, and then having people in the house, and then just not a good month for streaming. I still want to get the music, the music little podcast thing I want to do. I still want to get it done, but the more I watch music things on like YouTube, the more I get the feeling of why am I doing this? I'm not. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not qualified to do that. But the way I want to do it is just as a fan. I don't want to do any research. I don't want to. I don't want to go into like some really deep, you know, backstory and learn all the stuff about the person I'm going to be talking to. I want to go into it with just what I know from my little part in this world. Okay, so now we need to go back to Severed Maple. I think that is Antonica. Is Antonica the same level as the caves? I don't remember. It may be Thunder's Steps. I don't know why that's red though. Maybe it's because I haven't got my harvesting up to the level it needs to be yet. So let's just go back to the steps. Hey Zax, what's up? I saw you on the live server. Nope, I'm not in a guild here. Why did I kick up the guild? Let me find something harvestable right here in front of me and see if this is where I need to be. Yeah, because I'm thinking I need to be in Antonica for.
Well met.
So let's go back towards the station. We'll harvest something. There's a lot of stuff to harvest over here. Oh, you're doing your deity quest line? The collector's edition was a spell upgrade, claim 1 per character. I don't know. I'd have to get on the other one and look. The spell upgrade? Get off of there. Get off there. Go. Get off. Get off. There you go. Cat trying to get up here on the computer. I'd have to get on and look. I'm not sure, Zax. I mean, because I don't think they come over onto this. Actually, I think I used the spell update too. Oh, there's Umbra. Yeah, I don't see it on here. The Shadowbound scroll case. You know, let me look. I think I grabbed it on Glassy. Let me look. We'll take a sidetrack and go right back to Glassy. I was just on him a second ago before I started the stream, so I could do all his. I'll just check it right now. I'm not doing anything special. I'll check on Glassy. But I think I got it already, but I don't think I can use it. Because I think... Is it the same setup as the other ones, like the Ascension ones, where if you get the ancient version of it, you still have to have the Grandmaster version to upgrade to from, I guess? Let's look. Get out of my frickin' pet there. Alright. See, because I have these that are ancient, but I can't use either one of them because I need to have the Grandmaster of it first. Oh, you did? Which boss was it? Was it one that I was getting pwned on pretty bad? Hmm. What? That zone to me was weird in that when I went into the palace, there was 3 bosses. There was so the that one was when you got into the palace. The first boss took me forever because I kept dying. What I did was I had my mercenary. I turned him off for attacking, and just had him looking at me. So his protect him and protect myself or protect me were off. His protect and assist were none, and follow was just on me. And what would happen was the first boss would pull you to him, and then start to trigger an AOE. And if you were in the hallway, the AOE wouldn't hit you. But if you were in the room with him, then you would get one-shotted by the AOE. So what I did with all 3 of the bosses in that zone was I left my mercenary just on follow, because once I figured out the mechanic of you have to get out of the room, then it was he would cast something on me that would kill me while I was in the hallway near the end. And my mercenary was, when I had him on protecting and all that, he was way over by him fighting and wasn't near me to heal. So Doom Calamitous. I don't remember my name, because the first one in the palace was insanely difficult, and then the next 2 were like very, very easy. The guy with the ads floating to the side. Oh yeah, okay, so he's the one outside on the. Okay, I know who you're talking about. I think I just ran in, I attacked one archer, but then I just pretty much focused on him to melt him down. And then once he dropped, his archers dropped. Did I use my my absorb magic? Because I usually go when I will pull, I'll kick on blazing avatar, which will cast out on my pet and then it's my pet. But then I'll cast absorb magic. It dispels 110 levels of arcane beneficial effects on the target. Hmm. Well, it's not that hard to be better geared than me. I just have the main quest line stuff. Um, let's look. So, am I level 120 right now, or am I mentored down? I'm mentored down. Let me unmentor real quick. What are your defenses? I'm at 994,000, 971,000, 972,000. I'm at 36,636 mitigation, 12,000 avoidance, and only 41% block chance. So you have a little bit less hit points, but your stats are higher. Cool. Oh, my speed's only 13%. Let's look. That could be. Yeah, looks like I've already got it on here. Where did that come from? That's cool. I don't even know where that came from. Yeah, because I was just looking at this. These are ascensions. Sure. Actually, I have to go outside to look at my mount because it won't let me look at it inside. Let me go outdoors. I don't even know what mount I'm using at the moment. I have double the hit points? Yeah, there's got to be something. I don't even think I have my familiars up. Alright. Okay, increases chance to block by 5, resolve by 75, crit chance by 530, potency by 7,000%, max power by 33,000, max health by 312,000, increases mitigation versus arcane, noxious elemental, ability modifier. Well, I think before when I took off all my armor, it dropped me down to like 177,000 hit points. I have a bunch that have stats, but this is the one that came out with the expansion. Wow, that increases max health by 1.1. Okay, let's put him on. So now let's see. Now I'm at 378 million because that mount just added 1 point. The mount looks like this. That one added 1.2 million hit points, so 1.1 million. %, chance to block, 160 resolve, 565 crit chance, 22,000 potency, 69,000 to max power, 1.2 million to max health. So that increased the ability modifier by 900. What's my ability modifier right now? 3 million. My potency is at 170,000%. My crit chance is at 33,000. Yeah, well, this spell here, I use Crystal Blast all the time, but this spell here, the Elemental Blast, is one that hits for, what is that number? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 30 billion, 84 million, 175,932. Is that right? Yeah, 30 billion. No, that one, Elemental Blast, is an AA. Right there. My Ascension spells are Wildfire, Fiery Incineration, Scorched Earth, Glacial Freeze, this Limited Aid Pet, Elemental Amalgamation. They're powerful, but they have longer recasts. So this one, and I can't cast this one all the time. I gotta be in a fight, and I have to. It's got a long recast also. 1 minute 45 seconds before I can cast it again. The damage ability scales based on the quality of your summoned primary pet. So the reason that it probably does 30 billion is because my primary pet that I normally have is Ancient. That Earthen Avatar is Ancient, and Planeswalker is Ancient. The Scout is Grandmaster, and then the Magician's Expert. So I should pay more attention to what I have going on. What is? Do I have a familiar up? This ant is the one that came with the expansion. Increases all attributes of the caster by 9. Increases potency by 8,000. Crit overcap by 3,000. Do I have that summoned? Nope. Okay, so he's summoned now. I have him turned off. And then, do I have my sidekick summoned? Where's my sidekick? I don't think I have him out there. Okay, so there's the sidekick who increases lots of crap too. Was that only for a pre-order? kind of setup. So now with, let's get the avatar up. Okay, so with my familiar going and my sidekick going, you know what, we'll even throw my deity pet up. There's my deity pet. Oh, I can't hide him. Oh well. I'm now up to 430 million hit points. Still not cracked the 3 million power. Crit chance is at 3,600. The bonus is at 8,700. The potency is 182,000%. Fervor's at 129.4%. Resolve is at 4,645. Which has gone up because I think it was. But see, now let's do this. Now let's watch my stats. Excuse me. Alright, so taking that off, taking that off, taking that off, taking that off. Jason Ellis. You had to be listening to Jason Ellis. They didn't fire him? Yeah, that's what I thought. You told me they fired him and he started on another channel or something. Okay, it's taking all my equipment off. With my pets and everything on. Actually, let's kill all these. So, unsummon, 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 the mount away. So, without anything on, I have 162,000 hit points, 12,000 power. Look at that, I don't even have enough power with nothing on. I don't even have enough power to cast some of my spells. I can't cast that one. Can't cast any of these down here. So without my armor on, without my pet, without my mount, without my deity pet, without my sidekick, without my familiar, I have 162,059 hit points. 12,000 power. No crit chance, a 435% crit bonus, 15% potency, 69% fervor, no resolve, 48,000 ability modifier. I put like my cloak on. We instantly pop up to almost 2.5 million hit points. I did this on another stream when Gorelord was on with his paladin, and he had like 280 million hit points as a tank at level 120, and I had 377. So with just my regular questing armor on, I have 322,000 hit points, 2.8 million power, and then the stats have gone up quite a bit. And then get the mount going. Up to 390. Get the familiar going. Up to 412. Get the deity pet going, which doesn't add a whole lot, but it adds some. And then you get the sidekick going. And we're up to 430 million hit points. Still haven't cracked 3 million on the power. Our ability modifier is almost at 4 million. 88% ability double cast. Isn't intelligence what my mana goes off of? Yeah, maximum power by 10 per point of intelligence. But now let's go look at Genu. And we'll see if the spell scroll is on there or if it was only one. Okay, Zax. Okay. Sorry, I was talking to the wife. I was just talking with the wife. So, let's see. See, Nginu dropped his belt as soon as he popped up. Look at that. That's his belt on the ground. See it get farther and farther behind him as he runs. Oh my gosh. Okay, so. I haven't got his ant yet. One per character. One per character. One per character. One per character. I'm thinking it must have been only one for the entire update because, as you can see, I haven't even gotten anything for Genu yet because I haven't played him for a while, and I don't see. He never even did his overseer, but I don't see the book anywhere. Yeah, so it must have just been like one per account and not one per character. Pick your belt up, Genu. Alright, so back we go to Glaceon Kalladim and go back to the Cloak and Harvester. So I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to name this music podcast thing I want to do. Because I don't want to limit it just to music in case I want to interview other interesting people along the way, because there's a lot of interesting people on this planet. There's a lot of people. See, when I first started
You're taking fucking forever to figure out a name.
oh my god, what's up, Gore?
Why don't you just call it fucking Talk Time with Kinky? Fuck it, I'll interview him. You're taking so goddamn long.
Well, no, it's because, like I was just saying, I don't want to make it just. I don't want to make it just the title that will only work like with musicians, because I want to interview musicians that play music I like, which is a wide range of musicians. But I don't want to have some cool badass black metal name and then
just have it. It's simple shit like Glassy Talks with, and then whoever the name is. Glassy Talks with Steve Fantasy. Glassy Talks with
See, yeah. See, I want to do it like
It has to be very open-ended if you don't want to paint yourself into a corner.
yeah.
Like, you can't have the Black Metal Power Hour and then have Byron on.
Why? Balsagoth is black metalish.
Because you're probably going to talk about books, and then the black metal people are going to be like, why the fuck are you talking about books?
Well,
if you want to talk about books and not black metal, then you're a fraud.
See, and that's the thing that I want to do, is I want to make it where I want to talk to musicians, but I want to talk to musicians not just about the music. I want to talk about, their creative process, what they do in their life, what normal life is like for them.
Very simple title. And like whatever name you're going to go by, if you're going to go by Glassy or Evil or, I don't know, Fog Warrior or...
No, I don't, it's not going to have, I don't want to do it.
You know what I like? And I just thought of it? Talking with Trismegistus.
No, because then that's going to make it sound like I'm super... Trismegistus is Greek for 3 times great. So that's going to put way too much pressure for me to be great 3 times over. And I can't do that.
Well, then the other name is going to be like, I don't know.
Talking
Jonathan?
Trash with Evil. But I forgot what I was going to say. It must not have been important. But what I was saying earlier before...
As my dad would say, if you forgot, it was probably a lie.
Yeah, if I forgot, it wasn't worth talking about in the first place. I was saying earlier that I don't want to go into it like I loved watching like Craig Ferguson on doing the late show, where they would give him stuff he was supposed to ask, and then he would rip it up and throw it behind him, and just still talk about the stuff he was supposed to talk about, the pushing of product and whatnot. But
that's very sexy.
But I don't want to do that. I don't want to go into it like when you watch Conan O'Brien and he's trying to be funny and he's asking questions and he's trying to make it sound like it's coming off the top of his head. It's not. It's stuff that they were told to ask about so they can push a product. I don't want to do that. I want to go into it like if I was to interview Byron, I want to go into it where all I know about the guy is what I've read on the CDs and what I've heard like in my limited life of not being in the business, because I'm more making music away from the business.
Well, from my point of view, then I have to look at what are you going to ask if you can't even come up with a name? You already have ideas? Well, no, and I mean that in like a constructive way. Like, yeah, you're going to get the title, and then what is going to be just like, hi.
No, it's like with Steve. It's going to be, I'll start the program. Welcome to whatever the hell I'm going to name this. Oh, you know what I should name it? My wife was making a new character for Neverwinter, and she couldn't come up with a name. And I said, why don't you just put like this space for rent? And so she named the character This Space for Rent. So over the character's head it says This Space for Rent. So maybe I should just name the podcast This Podcast for Rent or something.
Yeah.
But like with Steve, I would do a little short introduction. Welcome to the podcast. This is a podcast about blah 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 or whatever. What do you even call it a podcast? I would just call it like a little chat. But then I would say today we're talking with Screamin' Steve Fantasy, formerly of the band Supermarket Fantasy and Stand There and Bleed. And then just start talking to Steve. Like, okay, Steve, so where were you born? Because when he told me, I thought he was born in Washington and then moved down to Visalia in California. And he said no, he was born in Visalia. That surprised me. I didn't know that.
Wow.
But then just start with like his history. Where were you born? Or when you were growing up, what kind of formed your musical interests and stuff like that, and then going off in different directions when stuff pops up. Because I hate watching like an interview with somebody, and they'll say something that's really interesting, but then they won't keep going down that line because they have to get to the selling point of what they're doing, and they only have like the old Johnny Carsons were like 90 minutes long, but he would have like 6 guests. So you would get like 15 minutes per guest at the most, and sometimes the later guests wouldn't even be on. I don't want to do that. I don't want to put a time limit. If they're there to sell something, they can talk about what they want to sell as much as they want to. But if I hear something interesting that has nothing to do with music, like something interesting that happened in their life, then I'll be like, oh, so what happened with that? And let's go that direction and talk about that for a minute, And I'm going to keep it unpolitical. I'm going to keep it unreligious. It's not going to be like I do my streams where I end up talking about me all the time. It's going to be me talking about them. Because
Yeah, I can't get a word in edgewise.
yeah, because like when I watch stuff, I've been watching a lot of Stevie T. I was watching a lot of him recently, and after watching him and how goofy he acts and everything, it makes me think like, how am I going to be able to do this when I'm not going to be like that at all. I'm going to be more kicked back and relaxed and kind of feeling kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I mean, like stuff like with Steve, I want to ask him about stories that happened in Supermarket Fantasy because I know he was in Supermarket Fantasy. I know they were banned from playing in Visalia, and that's pretty much all I know. And I know they were a hardcore punk rock band. I know Joey was in it. I know Keone was in it, and I know Steve was in it. And I don't know who their bass player was, but I think he lived with him at the band house for a while.
Yeah.
And then talk to him, about, well, when you're writing something, what, and then we'll probably start talking about anime because he's huge into anime. We'll talk about, his career and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I want to, in a lot of the things that I've been watching on YouTube lately, I see people talking about music, and the way I've always thought of music, the way that I've always been in music, has nothing to do with everybody else. I don't follow music theory the same way everybody else does. I don't write music the way everybody else does. Everybody has a different way of writing music. But every time I watch something with other musicians on it, then I start thinking, I can't really call myself a musician because I don't do like they do. And then that's what made me want to start doing this, is because I wanted to learn everybody else's, what got them to do what they're doing.
Yep.
That make any sense? I keep getting lost as I'm talking. I'm trying to harvest and talk at the same time. Are you not at work? Are you off today?
Yeah, I still got 2 more days off. I've had a week off.
I forgot
Nobody's fucking been on, so I'm like, fuck it.
I didn't have any internet yesterday, or I had internet, but it was running at pre-broadband speeds.
Yeah, the powers went out here 4 times today.
Jeez. Okay, so I need to fish, and I need to do fishing, I need to do shrubberies. A shrubbery!
Bring to me.
But that's why I wanted to start with Steve, because I'm comfortable talking to Steve because I've known Steve forever, and seems like, and Steve is very easy to talk to.
Speak for yourself.
But I mean, if I was to start with like Byron, then I would be like, you remember Power Cosmic? That was good, wasn't it?
Oh, you saying you're gonna sound like Chris Farley?
Yeah.
Remember when? Jeez.
Yeah, I would just, completely. But I need to go into it because, like I said, to me, it's more like when I was younger. I always thought that, here I am, part of this group of people, a musician with falling into the black metal category with all these other people, and then the more that I actually watch interviews and
Did you
stuff.
listen to that song I sent you?
I don't remember what the song was. What was it?
I sent it to you yesterday. It is in your Discord private messages.
From Gorson Medical Alton. Oh yeah, Tribulation. Yeah, Hour of the Wolf. Yeah,
Did
I
you
listened to
listen?
it. Yep.
What'd you think?
It's not what I would expect you to listen to. I mean,
Good shit.
it's not the kind of thing I would expect to hear from you, I guess.
Well, the thing is I listen to everything, but
Crimson Glory.
fuck off with that stupid shit. No, but like I like a little bit of everything, but it's still like 90% death black metal. 8% moldy oldies, and then like six, like one song by The Gathering. I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
I remember you liked one song by King Diamond, Time for Tea.
Oh, no, see, that's a different thing. I loved King Diamond when I was younger. Then when I was like in my teens and 20s, it was all just as heavy as you could get because it was full testosterone and man mode, for lack of better words. But then, like, I started falling in love with King Diamond again when I moved up here like 10 years ago.
Yeah, King Diamond has been, ever since the first time I heard King Diamond, he has been like, I think it was King Diamond was. Did I ever tell you the story how I ever first heard King Diamond?
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now.
Hey!
So, I was in high school. I had just started getting into metal. Because I was not really into metal until I was in high school. And I was hanging out with a guy who was a bass player. He was a metalhead bass player who I went to school with, named Eric Ferguson, who I called Furburger, and he called me Hensucker. What's up, Furburger? Hey, Hensucker! And he actually went down to LA for a while. Went to school. I think he was going to school to learn audio mixing and stuff like that. And I remember I was just getting into metal. My sister's first husband was a huge Iron Maiden fan. And me being a drummer, all the stuff I was hearing on the radio was like very boring. And then to hear something like Iron Maiden that was a little bit more upbeat, I was like, hey, that sounds like it'd be awesome. And I remember talking to Eric one day at school, and I was like, hey, have you heard Iron Maiden? And he's like, dude, I've been listening to Iron Maiden for years. You're just finding out. I was like, yeah, I never heard them before. I said, they're so freaking wicked. And he's like, oh no, if you want wicked, you need to hear Merciful Fate. I was like, really, what's Merciful Fate? And he goes, oh, I will bring you a tape tomorrow and you can listen to it. Cassette tape. For all you people out there who don't know what cassettes are.
And who was this?
Eric Ferguson. And so he brought me Don't Break the Oath by Merciful Fate. And I took it home and listened to it, and I swear to God, when the intro came in and started playing, I got goosebumps. I was like, holy shit, what is this? And then the next thing I know, I had listened to the entire album. I took it back to him, and I was like, does anybody else know about this? This guy is freaking insane. And he goes, well, he's not in that band anymore. he started his own band named after himself called King Diamond. And I was like, holy crap! I went to the record store later that week, and I found Abigail. And I was like,
Which one?
is this the
One of
same
my
King Diamond?
earliest childhood memories, like images that have popped in my head my entire life, was I want to say it's Merciful Fate, but it's like the red skull with like the streams.
Yep, that's Melissa. That's the album Melissa.
That was like one of I go back in life and I try to think like of images. That's one of my earliest images that I could ever remember.
Really? The Melissa
Oh yeah.
album? Yeah, because
Yep.
Merciful Fate put out the EP that people have called Nuns Have No Fun, but it was actually just called Merciful Fate. They put that
Is
out.
that the No Presents for Christmas?
Nope. It went Merciful Fate did the EP called Nuns Have No Fun. The covers got a woman in just a pair of underwear nailed on a cross being burnt.
And
Very-
what's bad about that?
Very well. It's very comic booky. It's not like
Oh.
your average. And then after that they released Melissa, and then after that they released Don't Break the Oath with one. They had a single in there called Black Masses in between the two, I think. And then after Don't Break the Oath, they split up. And then King went on to form King Diamond, which he first put out a single, No Presents for Christmas.
Yep, there's no presents.
Not this Christmas. Yep. And then came Fatal Portrait, and then what was the order? Fatal Portrait, Abigail, Conspiracy. No, Fatal Portrait, Abigail, Them, Conspiracy, The Eye, and then the two I never really got into, which was the Spider's Lullaby and the
Spider's
Graveyard.
Lullaby.
Yep, Spider's
I
Lullaby and the
remember being
Graveyard.
at the Mall of America and finding it, and I called you or something. I was like 13. I was like, "Hey, Spider's Lullaby it just came out," and you're like, "I already have it."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Well, then go fuck yourself."
Yep, I have it. I had it. I bought them both, but I didn't really. I never got into them. It's like Abigail Part 2. I never got into Abigail Part 2. But then I remember telling Eric. Oh no, it was. He showed me Celtic Frost first, because I said something about the Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden, and he goes, "No, if you want to hear something like that, you need to hear Celtic Frost. That is the heavy stuff." And so I went and bought a Celtic Frost EP, and then when I brought it back, I was like, "Wow, these guys are heavy." And he goes, "Yeah, but they're not truly into what they sing about. You want to hear somebody who's truly a devil worshiper kind of guy, you need to hear Merciful Fate." And I was like, "Okay." And so that's when he let me borrow Don't Break the Oath. He goes, "This is probably the darkest song ever written." And at that time, it probably was. But boink. So it was Celtic Frost and Merciful Fate were the first two bands I listened to, because before that I was writing song lyrics, but I was trying to write song lyrics in a way that was like what I was hearing on the radio, I guess is the best way to put it. It was like I was trying to fit everything into the patterns that I was hearing.
Yeah.
And then hearing Celtic Frost, I was like, wow, I can write stuff that's that heavy? And then hearing King Diamond, I was like, you can write songs about that kind of stuff? And so listening to both of them kind of took me from, you have to follow this pattern that I thought you had to follow as a kid to write music and record music, to fuck everybody, do what you want to do. So yeah, and so that's why I now have Blackened Calculus Metal. Because I wrote what was in my broken brain and not what I thought I had to write. So
see, and I think my brain's broken whenever I come up with stuff. It's just normally right on the spot. Like, I don't sit there and I'm like, okay, this needs to be, technical.
Oh,
This doesn't need to be melodic. This doesn't. I just write whatever fucking flows, I guess.
Yeah, when I started writing the stuff for the old project, the
Like
stuff.
I really don't overthink anything. I'm just like, and sometimes it's okay, and most of the time it's shit.
Well, the stuff I started writing for the old project, the first album, is not difficult. Well, I mean, the song "Old," I don't even know if I can play it. That's difficult, but everything else for that is not that difficult. Everything I started writing after that first album was crazy go nuts difficult because I was getting more confident in writing with the GP5 program. And so then the stuff that was coming up in my head when I would put it into the GP5 program, that's when I was seeing everything coming out in like the 23/8 time signature, and I was like, why am I writing like that? That's just the way it was in my head. But the song "Old," which on the GP5 program is called "Why," that one was freaking crazy. That one was, I sat down and I said, all right, I'm going to write something that I don't know if I'll be able to play. I want to write this. I want to see if I can write something that sounds good but is insanely difficult. And so it's not like Dragon Force or anything like that, but I can probably sit down and learn it if I give myself the time to do it. But for the most part, 90% of the stuff I write, like all the Fog Warrior stuff, I'll write it and record it within like 20 minutes. Like all the stuff that's sitting waiting to be finished right now, all the guitars and drums were all came up with and recorded like from nothing to that song is like a 20-minute process. It's like the one you were saying you like the middle part too. I wrote those first 4 chords, the dun 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 dun. I wrote those and then without even paying attention because I was watching something on YouTube, and then stopped and kicked up the GP5 program and put them in GP5. Got got what oh fuck, I just lost the word.
Well met.
Got the scale they were in, and then popped that up on the guitar on the GP5 so I could see where everything else fit in that scale, and then would start noodling around on the neck until I wrote the rest of the song. So from the time it was written to the time it was recorded is usually instantaneous.
Yeah.
With Evil Trimegistus, I wrote 90% of the Evil Trimegistus stuff, well, 98% of all the Evil Trimegistus stuff on the guitar. Just sitting down and writing what came to my head, and there's a lot of room in my head for stuff to be in there, so.
Well, that's where you and Michael excel. It's like I could write a guitar part, I could write a bass part, but I can't write like a guitar part, then come up with a bass part, or write a bass part and then come up with a guitar part. Like it's one or the other. Like that's it.
Well, I got a compliment on your $1 Million bass line the other day, the one I have up on YouTube, the one that's not
Well,
correct.
yeah, but here's the thing: like the $1 Million bass line is both of ours because you came up with the second half that just. If you didn't come up with that section, like it'd only be like what 15 seconds long.
Yeah, that's all it needs to be. Doesn't need any
Fuck
more.
no, it doesn't. It needs to be one of those 10-hour long YouTube videos like badass music to sleep to. They get like 10 million views and make tens upon twenties of dollars.
You could make tens of dollars.
No, because I remember I had like that little noodly bass thing. You're like, well, what about this? And then all of a sudden you come up with the really obscure like power chord on the bass, and I'm like, oh, fuck, this is great.
Well, see, and that I think a lot of that also comes from. I don't want to sound. Well,
It's fine to give yourself compliments, you fuck. I do it all the time.
Bite me. So I think that comes from not actually being formally trained. I think. I mean, for the way I think and the way my brain operates, I think if I was formally trained, a lot of the music that I have written now would not be written. I would have been like I was when I was a younger kid, where I thought I had to follow guidelines and I had to make things fit into a 4/4 time signature and I had to make the words all rhyme, and everything had to be about love and sex and freedom of speech and all this fun stuff, and not about the stuff that really interested me.
That sounds like fucking punk.
So it was interesting to when I first started listening to. Oh yeah, this is one where it makes you go to certain zones. When I first heard Celtic Frost, and I was like, wow, that is really harsh sounding. And then I listened to King Diamond, and I was like, wow, you can sing about that kind of stuff? So it
You
was,
can sing about whatever you want.
yeah, that's why I think if I would have been formally trained, because the only training I ever got was in 5th grade, I trained on the violin. And I remember telling people when I was younger, I didn't continue it because I felt like they were being too simple. But in reality, it had nothing to do with that. It was I didn't do it again the next year because my parents couldn't afford to rent me a violin. That's why. So, and I never,
telling yourself.
And I would never practice because I have this really bad. The problem I had with my drum set when I had my drum set out at my grandparents' house, I had this $10,000 15-piece Sonar Force 2001 drum set with 22 cymbals that I wanted more than anything to get out and play, but I didn't want anybody to hear me because super self-conscious about A, I suck, and B, I'm going to be annoying people. And so I would never go play it because I didn't want people to hear me, and B, I didn't want to be, because when I played that drum set in that big house, it drowned out everything in that house.
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's why
behind the kit, and I wrote "I Went Walking." I mean,
yeah.
There has to be a part of the writing process. At least you have to have pride in what you write, but you also have to not give a fuck what anybody thinks.
See, that's how I am. Like right now, with with Fog Warrior. That's how I am with Fog Warrior. I don't know. Years ago, before I even heard Tiamat, when I started writing stuff for E-Trig, I was trying to follow what everybody else was doing, kind of. Even though I was telling myself I could write in different time signatures. I could. What's the word I'm looking for? I could do what I wanted and not have to worry about if it fell into certain things. And oh, hold on a second. Yeah, I got something for you, Tommy.
All right.
Let me see if this is what I think it is.
I do not think it means what you think it means.
I went walking with my loved one. We were looking for something to do. So we went out with each other. It's just me off. And guess what I did?
Skibbity bop 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 do wow. That's how it should have ended.
I tell everybody when I play that for them, listen to after it ends, you hear something go womp.
Say what?
That sound right there. So you hear everything's like ringing out, and then you just hear all of a sudden you hear the sound go womp. So you listen. That sound you hear go womp. That's me. I was holding the microphone under one of the cymbals so you could hear Tommy, because that's Gorelord on my drum set. at band practice. He wrote that on the spot. Um, and he wrote that on the spot, and I stood up with the microphone, and I reached it underneath one of the cymbals so it would be close to him so you could hear him. And we didn't know what he was going to do. And then after he did that, I was laughing so hard when I pulled the microphone out that sound you hear, that whomp, that's me smacking the microphone into the cymbal because I was laughing so hard. I still have a lot of that noise.
Genre of grindcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Like,
I've heard
what do they do? Like, where the old crooners used to go to play?
What do you mean?
To...
What do you mean to play what? To go?
Oh God, was it? It's not lounge. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, lounge singing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Vegas
grindcore lounge singing.
Vegas grindcore. I'm sure there's grindcore bands in Vegas, but.
Skibbity bop do wah. Yeah.
Anyways.
Like 30 seconds of grindcore, followed by 30 seconds of like scat.
Well, that'd be like Scatman John joins Napalm Death.
Yes. Skibbity bop.
You know what scat singing is? It's just you're doing a drum solo with your mouth, pretty much.
I know quite a few girls that could do that. Oh.
So, yeah. So, the main thing is I need to come up with a name. I need to find out if there's anybody who'd want to do it other than Steve. And it's like back in the day.
Yo.
I don't know how to say it. It's like one of the main thing that's making me go nuts. Is myself, obviously, but I don't feel I wanted to do it because I just want to. I'm tired of watching interviews that are only like 20 minutes long, 10 minutes long, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, but what about? I want to talk about more stuff than just that. I used to love watching, what was it, Later with Bob Costas back in the day, because you would have Johnny Carson show, which I loved to watch, but everything was short clips and we're here to sell this movie, we're here to sell this book. And then you would go after that would be David Letterman, which was more of the same. And then after that would be Later with Bob Costas, which he would sit down with somebody and talk to them. I can't remember if it was an hour or 90 minutes. But he would just sit down and talk to one person for that entire time, which was still scripted. They still had questions they were supposed to ask and questions they were not going to be able to ask. And still heavily researched and whatnot, almost kind of like Into the Actor's Studio, which is seriously researched. I don't want to do it like that. I want it to be just me talking to people about their life and music and how music is formed in their life and how their life is formed around their music and where their ideas come from. Like with Byron, I wanted to go, okay, when did you first...
What their writing method is and stuff like that?
With Byron, one of the first things I want to ask him is, where did you come up with this whole setup? Because... I mean, he's got what? How many albums are there? 6?
6, and then like an EP.
So I want to go into it going, how did you come up with the concept for these 6 albums? I mean, people...
Didn't he also say he only wanted to do 6 albums because Star Wars was 6 movies?
I don't know. I never heard that.
So I remember. I think it was in a Terrorizer magazine where he said something to that effect. So my whole thing is, well, Disney bought it out. Now there's 30 movies, so you got 24 albums to make.
Yeah, and I've only seen one time where they played live, and it didn't sound so good. But then also reading the comments, he was saying that the drummer was a different drummer and didn't have enough time to learn the songs properly, I guess. Do I have all the belladonna roots I need? Um,
But I'm trying to remember, there was a Balsagoth song on a Terrorizer CD sampler. And I mean, it was just fucking phenomenal. And I went through every fucking album on YouTube to find the song, and I can't find it.
really?
Yep.
It was in what year? Do you know how long ago it was? Like when the magazine came out?
It was right around the Chthonic Chronicles or whatever.
Chthonic Chronicles. I'll have to, because I remember you telling me you were listening to one that started okay and then it got faster and then it got faster and then it got faster.
Yep.
And that's the first track off Chthonic Chronicles.
But he's like, he doesn't really do that many black metal vocals. He's just like,
yes, speaking stuff, yeah. And
well, he does the speaking stuff, but then he's like doing these really low, like, grunts.
That's what I loved about his voice, is he would do his screaming voice is like super high pitched, but then when he talks, he's got this really deep British voice.
Have you listened to? I was listening to him yesterday. Ah, crap. Let me see if I can find him. That's some good shit. Oh. Because that's how I came across Tribulation, but
Tribulation sounds a little bit like. Hey, Zach, I was asking how your neck is doing.
It's actually a little bit better, but it's not fully healed. It's so strange.
Maybe that's where you're keeping all your stress. You're packing it in your neck.
What the fuck is Frozen Soul?
Frozen Soul. Is that the name of the band?
Yep, and the song's called Encased in Ice, and I'm like, oh my god.
What do they sound like? Who do they sound like?
Sound like old death metal that I used to listen to in Grandma's house. They kind of sound like Winter mixed with Bolt Thrower. They're just super slow and chunky, and they sound like, as they say, Frozen Soul. Everybody, it's like they're getting popular, but they say the name is like these guys were frozen back in the 90s, and they just got thawed out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, I go to the Atmospheric Black Metal channel on YouTube a lot and just will randomly pick music on there to listen to. And
for me, I'm back on just a massive Zaster binge. Like, his shit is so fucking good. Like, I turn it on and all of a sudden it's like I'm not even in my, living room anymore.
You know what? I was watching Stevie T and he did a heaviest bands or whatever, which, with him is a joke, but like the number 10 was all the deathcore bands in the world.
Yeah.
But number 9 was Sono. And I was like, wow, that's interesting to hear him actually mention Sono.
Zaster did live vocals for Sono for like 2 years.
I saw a video. I think you showed me a video of him singing for them.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck, but he always looks like he's fucking 7 foot tall.
Maybe he's wearing like Gene Simmons platform boots.
There's one where he does a live song with Knock Mystium. That's a good one too. It sounds like Catatonia, but with just the most terrifying vocals. Yeah, but you just listen. It's like, I don't know how much Zast listened to, but it's like he does it intentionally where half the song is just repetitive slog. You just feel fucking exhausted. And then he just comes up with parts that are just so dark and infuriating that like,
I think I have.
I legit get angry when I listen to Zaster. But like anything else, black metal, death metal, and it's like calming.
Let's see, I have 24 Zaster albums there and one song on the Nachamistiums. So I have 24 of his albums, 151 songs, and then one with Noctmistium.
Yeah, well, no, it's a live YouTube video where
Dark and Winter, Funeral being one vinyl bonus tracks. Funeral being vinyl.
Nocturnal Poisoning.
Gate through bloodstained mirrors. Nocturnal poisoning.
That's a
Zaster.
good. The song Nocturnal Poisoning is. Mwah.
Rehearsal
Mwah.
97. A Sermon in the Name of Death. Subliminal Genocide.
That's a good one too.
Suicide and Dark Serenity.
Yeah.
Telepathic with the Deceased. To
Classic.
violate the Oblivious.
One of the best ever.
Zaster Orosius split. Zaster Stryborg split. I remember listening to Stryborg. Zaster EP. Zaster
Leviathan split is good.
Acid Enema. Zaster Angramayu split. Zaster Critosteum. How do you say that? Crustaceum split. Zaster Leviathan split.
Yep.
How many songs are supposed to be on that?
There's like 10, and it's like 6 or 7 from Zaster, and
Oh, the other ones must be on Leviathans because I only have 3, 4, 5, and 6. But that's probably because Leviathan are the other ones and it's listed under Leviathan. Zaster.
Leviathan's very good too. Leviathan's like changed his sound. It's still black metal, but it's just much more. I don't want to say professional.
Better recording quality.
No, just it's hard to explain. It's good shit.
Better written, I guess.
Like he brought in some dark ambient.
Oh, cool.
Some progressive, but it's still like hateful progressive music.
See, that's the issue I'm having with Fog Warrior right now. Is that I need fish. Is that I originally wrote it to be ambient black metal because I love listening to ambient black metal.
Yes.
And the first 2 albums are a lot more ambient than. It's like once I get into that mode, I'll listen to a lot of ambient black metal and then I'll go to write. And what I write and I think sounds like ambient black metal, when I go back and listen to it afterwards, it's not even close. It's just regular metal. So the album that came out with Via Nocturna in 2019, it's just listed as heavy metal. It's not ambient black metal. It's just listed as heavy metal.
Huh.
And so I was like, well, I guess that's what it is then. So
I can listen to like a commercial on the, like an ad on YouTube, and I just hear the melody, and all of a sudden I'm like, I could take that, distort it, and make it sound very terrible.
That's how I've been all my life. I told somebody once at work when I was working overnights at Walmart, I would take my breaks by myself because I didn't want to be around people. And I remember sitting in the break room one night and the TV wasn't on. There was a station that used to come on over the air that would play classical music. It was like a mixture of classical music and I wish I could remember what the name of the program was called. But that's all it would play all night long is different classical music compositions and different artists doing different things. And it was like a PBS kind of thing, but it wasn't PBS. And I was sitting one night and I had that turned off and I was just sitting in the break room by myself. And I was listening to the power hum coming from the lights above me. And I ended up writing a song that 15 minutes I was in there around the rhythm that the power hum was making coming from the lights. And I remember telling Jason about that. I was like, hey, I just wrote a song to a power hum. I wrote a song. I did a thing that's on my YouTube channel called Deconstructing Music.
Yeah.
Where I took 3 sounds and put a drum beat under them and messed around with the sound. And then played it and then stopped it and pulled the 3 individual sounds out. And then took the effects off them so you could hear what they were. And one was like a hedge trimmer, one was a power drill, and one was like a belt sander on a door.
Sound like Igor.
Not that crazy. because it sounded like just techno music because of all the effects on it. But
Yeah, like, I like Igor or Igor or whatever, but it's not like some shit you can rock out to. You got to like sit there and just.
yeah, it's completely different. I agree with that.
And I get like he's an artist and stuff like that. Like, not as a musical artist. Like, he'll go out and get like old rusted shit and he'll bang on it. And he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Yep, I'll make an entire song off the sound of a rusted, folded 1960s, frying pan."
I was watching a thing on YouTube. It was top 10 weirdest instruments Igor used to record with, and like the number one was a metal. Oh, what do you call that? Scaffold, a metal scaffold upside down, and they were playing the metal on it. There was that sickle's got to be there for a reason because it's always there. But it was interesting to watch. I mean, there was a band when I was in Stand There and Bleed. Me and Steve went to Howie and Sons here in town to talk to them about playing a gig, and they wouldn't let us in unless we paid the cover charge because they had a band playing that night. So we paid the cover charge to watch this band called Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum.
Yeah, my sister was a huge fan of them. My sister was always at Howie and Sons.
Well, we went there to talk to the owner to talk about playing gigs there with Stand There and Bleed, and so we watched these guys play, and I was like, they had a full-time dancer. They had a guy that all he played was metal chunks of metal, like 10-speed wheels and stuff like that. But the music itself was pretty cool. Just all the stuff around it was really dorky. And then I remember the guy was like, Steve was talking to him and he goes, "Yeah, we want to know if we can book a gig here." And this was right as we were starting with Stand There and Bleed, and he goes, "Well, how many people do you think you could pull in?" And Steve's like, "Well, we're just starting out. We had a good following at Supermarket Fantasy, but I don't know how many people are gonna know us yet, so I don't know." And this was in November, and the guy was like, "Oh, well, I'll look and see if I got something maybe in February."
February?
And then he never got back to us. So I've kind of avoided it since then. I think the only other time I went back to that place was for a birthday party for somebody. Maybe one of Vicky's kids. It was with you guys.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's the last time I've ever been there.
Or it could have been Emerson's birthday.
Oh, I think it was.
There, and Carrie was there.
It was Emerson's birthday party. Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah, but I remember that band, Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum. I ended up buying one of their albums, but I remember when they first came out, they came marching out. They're all in robes. They're marching out like a bunch of monks and stuff. And when the music started, they are really good musicians. It's just by the look of it and everything, and the fact you had the one guy and that all he did was dance. And they showed up in like an old school bus. That was their touring bus.
What the hell am I doing? I'm over here doing my deity quest, and I'm like,
Shoot, I need a rough agate. I don't need to be fishing anymore here. What am I doing? Okay, well, I already got one, so I need to empty it. Yeah, so I don't know if it's going to work or not, because it's not going to be me, I already told Steve when we were talking about it, I was like, if there's anything you don't want me to talk about, tell me beforehand. And Steve was like, no, there's nothing I don't want you to talk about. I was like, okay. Well, then I'm going to ask you all kinds of questions, and it won't be about music. I mean, it'll be music, but then there's going to be stuff that's not about music. It's going to be stuff about your life and your experiences and stuff that happened in Supermarket Fantasy and stuff that's happened in your life to shape your music. So it's mainly just even though it's about music, it's mainly about the musician
Yep.
and finding out what drives them to do what they do and where their ideas come from. Because, like I said, I always thought I was part of this metal community, even though I don't, ever talk to anybody who's in it or anything like that. But
You're ahead of your time because nobody talks to anybody anymore.
but I always thought, I was a musician, and I always thought these guys were all musicians. But the more I watch stuff nowadays, the more I'm like, I am not even close to what these guys are like. I'm just this guy who never wants to leave his house, just wants to write and record music. Was never comfortable on stage until we were actually on stage, and then I loved it, and then never wanted to be off stage. All I need is rough agates. I shouldn't even have done that crap. But now the more I watch stuff on YouTube, and the more I watch, actual musicians out there doing stuff, the less confident I am that I should be doing this in the first place.
Eh.
And I've never, anytime I've called myself a musician, it's just for lack of a better term, I guess, because I don't feel like I'm a musician. I write and record ugly, horrific music, but I don't feel like I'm a true musician. So,
What's a true musician?
somebody who knows what they're doing and is a professional at what they do.
Says the guy that has a fucking album released on a label.
Just one off a very small label. It wasn't all that great.
I think that qualifies you as a musician, sir.
And my fives of fans.
Tens upon three of his
my luck, my number of fans is an irrational number. Okay, I need to go to the docks. And that's everything from. Okay, that's neck. Okay, so off we go to Nectulosis Forest. Hey, maybe I'll find Kenny. Maybe we'll get lucky. Oh wait, I can't find Kenny. There's no mercenaries in the game yet.
When does that come out?
I think Michael was saying it's a long ways off. Either he was saying it was Sentinel's Fate, or he was saying you guys were talking about something, and he said it's like the next 3 or 4, and then it's like 2 after that or something.
Hello.
Hey, there's Steve. There's
Steve.
Hey, Steve. Steve having the crazy week this week with work. That's the guy there, Steve. That's the guy who should be doing the kind of thing I'm talking about doing. The musician talk show thingy. That's a guy who's been around the place. Who's been in a band that's gone around some places. He's
been around. He's a here.
He's got an insane vocal.
Yes, he does.
That's a musician right there. Yes, you, Steve. And then I have to say that when I was in Stand There and Bleed, Steve was the driving force behind the band, I guess is the best way to put it. He was like, how can I put it? He was like the den mother. He was like the babysitter, and the rest of us were just a bunch of brats running around. I never did nothing, Steve. Steve was the one who was calling up places and getting gigs booked. He was talking to the fans. He was doing all the social media stuff that was just coming out at the time. We were on MySpace. I mean, Steve got us the touring van. Steve fixed up the touring van. I mean, it was all Steve. Yeah, we were all over the place. Steve was running all kinds of stuff. That's something that'll be in the conversation, if we ever have it, of my still unnamed musical podcast. Maybe I should just call it the Unnamed Podcast.
Yeah.
We'll call it welcome to just the unnamed podcast. You know what? I think I'm gonna do that. Is somebody already got that? Let me copyright that real quick. Wasn't there a band called the Unnameable at one point?
I don't know.
UNPC? That sounds like a hospital, Steve. Take him to UNPC stat. Unkpuk. Welcome to Unkpuk. Maybe I'll get a hold of the brothers and I'll have them do a Fahuga God song. Thank you, babe. Okay. I'll have what were the brothers? Not Mackenzie brothers. Who did Strong Bad? What were their names?
Fuck if I know.
I can't remember what their names were. The brothers. I'll get them to write a Fahuga God song for Unpuk. Hey, an UnPC. That would work good too because the show would be UnPC. There'd be no political correctness at all on my show. None of that. So when you're ever going to be free to do that, Steve? I know this week is hell. The brothers Chaps. That's the Chapmans. That's right. I think they're the Chapman brothers. Oh, there's the grandma. See the grandma ghost over there? That was a sad quest. When you have to go find grandma and she's already passed away and that's her ghost over here.
Do what?
One of the quests you have to do in Thunderous Steps is you have to help this little halfling. You have to find his grandpa and then you have to find his grandma. And when you find his grandma, she's right here. She's already passed away and she's a ghost. And it's so frickin' sad.
In what game?
Everquest. See what I'm at right there? Grandma Blumble right here in Necklace Force.
Oh, I've never leveled a evil character in.
This isn't evil. This is not an evil character. It's classy. It's in Thunderous Steps on the docks. You're helping Blumble, and one of the things you have to do is find Grandma. And when you get here to the forest, she's a ghost. That's why I can see her, because... Okay, Steve, what time next week? I need, like, down to the second. Now, there's no rush. Whenever you're good, Steve. I gotta come up with stuff. I'll probably use the same music as I'm using for this. The song, what the hell is that song? That is... I'm popping it up right now. That song is called... Oh, that's the song I Am Broken. Okay. So that track I Am Broken is the intro music to my stream. I'll probably just use that as the intro music for that too. You have to quarantine after Wednesday so Erin can get her surgery done, so I will be only at home. Oh, so after Wednesday? So not Wednesday, but after Wednesday? What am I doing? I need to still get stuff here. What am I leaving for? I need any fish. Sea Fury mackerels. I still need fish. Okay. Whee! Into the water we go. I was thinking this was Enchanted Lands for a minute. I was expecting to find a guy over here offering me a heritage quest. And I was like, oh wait, I'm in the wrong zone for that. And a couple levels way too low for that. So Okay, Wednesday will work. And there's no telling how long it'll go. It could be like 5 minutes. It could be like 22 hours. We don't know. And you said that there's nothing that's off limits, right? Not that I'm going to ask you any kind of, really nefarious questions or anything, but
Yeah. So how often do you bring out the hammer?
I'm not going to start asking questions like, well, you got 5 kids, so explain to me about how. No, nothing like that. I mean, I may talk about your kids, but. But it's mainly just the whole purpose of the podcast is going to be kind of like, it's not even going to be a podcast. The whole purpose of the conversation is just going to be, I'm tired of watching interviews that are where people are pretending to be spontaneous when none of it is spontaneous and it's all scripted. And I'm tired of watching interviews that when they're done, I'm like, but you could have asked this and you could have asked that. And so there's a good chance it's only going to go 5 minutes. There's a good chance it's going to go 7.5 hours. I mean, it all depends on what time Steve finally goes, what is this crap? And tells me to go take a long walk off a short pier. There we go. So what was the band we were talking about the other day, Tommy? The one that you listened to a lot? The 3-piece band that had the female bass player?
You talking to me or Steve?
You. You're Tom, he's Steve.
Oh, Aternus?
Aternus. I couldn't think of the name of the band there for a while. So what did they ever do? Are they still together or did they split up or?
Oh yeah, still going.
Really?
Much more of a death metal type of sound now. Straightforward death metal instead of awesome, ultra down-tuned black metal. Hey. Still good shit nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, did I tell you? Did I tell you I did a CD trade with a guy for his music. Oh, what's it called? I think I have it sitting right here. Oh, look, there's my 2 CDs I need to send you guys. Crap, it's too dark. I can't read it. I have all the lights turned off. Ah, crap. Hold on, let me pop this up real quick. Here I am playing Everquest. I'm talking 99% of the stream has been about music. Okay, it's a band called Neverterza? Never Tanzera?
Oh, isn't that the one with the guy from Avernus?
Yep.
Yep. God, their guitar sound is so crunchy.
Yeah, he as soon as the album was out, he sent me a thing saying, "Hey, do you want to trade CDs?" And I was like, "Sure, I'm never going to sell any of mine." And so I sent him one, and he sent me this one, and I listened to it, and I was like, "Wow, that vocalist! This sounds a lot like Winter, because it's slow and the vocals are heavy." And then he goes, "Yeah, that was I forgot the guy's name. That was crap. I can't remember the guy's name now." And I looked, or actually, I was talking to him, and I saw the guy's name, and I was like, "Isn't that the guy from?" Oh crap! Sonny took the classes. It's Rick McCoy. I was like, "Holy crap! Is that Rick McCoy from Avernus?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Holy crap! I wore that demo out."
Yeah.
They sent it to me for my magazine I was doing before it croaked, and I wore that Sadness demo completely out.
And then you should have asked, why did you change your sound, you freaking twit?
Well, didn't he say something about he was drinking a lot of cough syrup at one point?
Oh, I don't know.
I think I remember somebody saying that he was talking about some of the later sounding stuff was because they were not in the right spot. They were not in the right mental spot.
Speak for yourself. Yeah, the dant, 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 dant. That's the one song of theirs that I really liked.
I just loved the whole album. I mean, and it was the first album I heard where they were using.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Never to
Oh, yeah, the
But it shows Avernus is still alive and well.
that's good. Ah, what the heck? Oh, cool. Do you have my stream going?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of something real quick.
So we'll be talking next week. The unnamed podcast. We'll be talking next week to Screamin'. You want me to just introduce you as Screamin' Steve Fantasy, or just Steve Fantasy, or Steve Aloysius McGregor, which is your true name?
Yes!
Or how do you want me to announce you? Just Steve Fantasy? Okay. Steve Fantasy? And everybody, he knows how to spell fantasy. It's spelled like that because of Supermarket Fantasy had it spelled that way. Because it wasn't there another band that had the song Supermarket Fantasy? Yeah. So it's spelled incorrectly on purpose. Which is what I tell everybody. When I spell something wrong, I did it on purpose. But Steve actually did. Yeah, I will. Well, that's one of the reasons I wanted to interview you too, is because I know hardly anything about Supermarket Fantasy. Apart from the one thing we talked about on the last stream about the guy in the gutter, and then I knew you were banned from Visalia. But there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. And like I said, it's not all going to center around music, because I want to get to know the creative process. I want to get to know, where you come up with your ideas. I want to get to know things that have happened in your life that have turned you into the.
Said I'd like to get to know you if I could. Like to get to know you.
Yeah, just what turned you into the one chip challenge guy you are now. Hey, I have not been in Neck Forest other than to go see the ghost of Grandma Blundell over there, so. Blumble. So I'm getting AA experience. Go me. G-Force. But one of the other things I was saying too about that is that it will not be like my stream where I just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. The stream is going to be mainly letting the other person talk, and then I'll just ask questions every now and then. So. And all your answers have to be in an essay form, Steve. They cannot be multiple choice.
Yep.
And marks will be taken for spelling.
Grammar is key. Hygiene, not so much. Because we can't smell you.
Yeah, we could. That's perfectly fine, Steve. We can, like I said before, I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm not politically correct. I'm not going to be doing politically correct stuff, but I'm also not going to. I'm not trying to get views by being edgy. I'm not going to push the envelope and piss people off in the interview or anything like that. Uh, have you ever seen Jiminy Glick when Martin Short does Jiminy Glick?
I love the way he hits people with that paper.
Yeah, I actually watched an interview with a guy. He was doing an interview with Sonny Butch Bond, who played Butch from Little Rascals, and the guy was, I swear to God, real life Jiminy Glick. He wasn't the big fat guy, but he was an older guy, and there was a picture of Jiminy Glick with two of the Little Rascals, and he held up the picture and he was pointing towards Alfalfa, saying, "This is you." And he goes, "No, no, I'm on the other side." And so the guy pointed to Spanky, and he goes, and you can see just Sonny Butch Bond just being like, what is this guy saying? What is he talking about? And he says, "We're going to show a picture of you with from the Little Rascals," and then they ran a video of him as the photographer from Superman serials. So, and the guy just not paying attention as he's talking to him, just steamrolling over everything with misinformation and not even knowing what he's talking about. So I saw that and I was like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to go into this with anything researched or anything like that, but I also don't want to be that clueless. I mean, I want to listen to what they're saying. And I don't want to be political. I don't want to be religious. I just want to talk about music, talk about life. Who knows? It could be one of the worst things ever, and then I'll get infamous on the internet.
Yeah.
Not only does his music suck, but he can't do an interview for shit.
People love car crashes.
Maybe that's how I got married.
I'll ask Byron if he wants to do an interview, and I'll start off with, "Okay, dude, so what the fuck?" Be like, "What?" I'll be like, "What the fuck?" I mean, it's been 10 years since you haven't released an album. I mean, what? Do you fucking hate your fans, bro? Come on. And, like, immediately guilt trip him into writing another awesome album.
I don't think you could guilt trip him, because the video I saw of him on stage, he looks very freaking scary on stage. He
looks like a Fred Durst wannabe. And I mean that in the nicest way. He's wearing all black.
He's got the bandana on.
Black hat on backwards.
He looks like he's ready to obliterate anybody who puts one toe on that stage.
Good.
That would be nuts.
Stupid.
But I don't know if he does interviews. I've seen like, I think, one interview with him. It was him and the guitarist from Balsagoth, and it was only like a 10-minute interview. So I don't know. Like I said, I want this to be the kind of interview where when you're done, you're like, well, I can't think of anything else to talk about, kind of thing. Not okay, we're out of time. We'll break this down into a seven part.
Well, what you do is you write down like 10 topics that you'd like to talk about. So if you're talking about one, and then it really starts to veer off, instead of you being like, you just look on the sheet of paper and be like, "So, how often do you bust out the hammer?"
Is that going to be my go-to when everything stops dead?
Yep. Busting out the hammer with glassy. There you go. Because there's a new podcast called The Cast That Created the End of the World or something. No, and it's just one guy from a band called The Cast That Created the World, and all he's doing is just asking all these musicians if they want to do a podcast, and they all say yes. I mean, he got personally, one of my favorite bands right now, Meth Witch. He got Cameron McBride to do like an hour and a half interview.
See,
Because they just had a Nicholas Barker interview. And
I saw that. Yeah, I haven't watched it
Dude,
yet, but I saw that.
No, like he is. I hate to say it, but he's like you. Like the guy's like, dude, you've done these amazing albums, and he's like, I could have done better. Like just constantly swatting down any fucking. But he's like the nicest guy, and at the very end, he's like, thank you so very much for this opportunity. I love to do more of these. Like he's trying to talk to like the people. Like, you know, I want to do more interviews.
Yeah.
So if Nicholas Barker is like that, what do you think? You know, and I'm not crapping on anybody else, but I mean, he's a fucking legend.
Who is he again?
So, oh, let's see here.
Dimmu Borgir,
Cradle of Filth,
Crapper of Filth.
Testament.
He played in Testament?
Yeah. Brujeria.
I didn't know he played in Testament.
Yeah. What else? Have you seen the list of bands he's been in? It's crazy.
Nope. I was thinking the one thing that I'll have up, the only kind of research tool that I will have up during any of this, if I'm talking to a metal musician, will be Encyclopedia Metallium.
Yeah.
Just to have it up. So because I want to go into this with just a casual fan's knowledge of who they are. I mean, I love Balsagoth. I have all the albums. Power Cosmic. When I played Everquest 1, I had Power Cosmic going like non-stop all day long. When I hear Power Cosmic, the first thing I think of is power leveling all my alts in Kara Isle in Everquest 1. But I want to go into it with just that. I don't want to go into it saying, you know, okay, well, I've read everything there is to read about you, and now I'm going to hit you with it. I mean, he knows who he is. I want to find this stuff out. Being just, you know, with what?
Ancient, Brujeria.
He was an ancient?
Yep. Twilight of the Gods, which is like a super group.
Sounds like a bathroom.
Atrocity, Cradle of Filth, Dimmu Borgir, Leaves Eyes, Lock Up, Old Man's Child.
When was he an Old
Testament.
Man's Child?
He did the drums for
I didn't listen to anything after Spiritually Uncontrolled Art or whatever it was called.
Spiritual. No, he got better after that because that album was a bit of a stinky.
I love the first album. Born of the Flickering is one of my favorite of all times. The Pagan Prosperity, I kind of like. I don't like the harmonizer used on his vocals a lot, but
he's also accepting session work.
Holy shit.
Yep.
I wonder how much he charges for that, like a couple quadrillion per session?
Probably $1,000 for a full album, I assume.
Well, we've already got a drummer. We got Michael.
Anal Nathrak.
You played an anal naprag?
Yeah. Godseed, Witchery.
Godseed was Gaul, wasn't it?
Yeah. Anathema, Benediction, Borknagor.
You played
Cancer.
Borknagor?
Yeah, Cancer. Oh. Yeah, he played with Cancer in 1993.
Holy shit.
Gorgoroth, Night Rage.
I didn't know he played
Nuclear
for Gorgoroth.
Assault, Possessed.
I didn't know he played for Nuclear Assault. I didn't know he played for Possessed.
Yep.
Holy crap, this guy's been busy.
Yeah, and he's just like the nicest dude.
See, what I heard back in the day, because I was never a big Dimmu Borgir fan. Michael was a huge Dimmu Borgir fan. And I remember Michael saying what he had heard was that Nick got kicked out of the band because he was a bad drunk or something.
Nope.
Not that he was a big drinker. It was just that when he drank, he was not a good drunk.
No, you need to watch the
2-hour interview, isn't it?
Huh?
It's like a 2-hour interview, isn't it?
Yeah, I've watched it 3 times now because it's pretty good, but he kind of goes into it where he's still best friends with Silenos and Galder.
Oh, wow.
He even hints that he might be drumming for Old Man's Child again.
Oh, cool.
But apparently he calls the boss Shagrath, you know, the lead singer, but he kind of alludes to Shagrath's ego is almost the size of mine.
Well, I mean, they kicked out the keyboard player because he wanted more writing credits for the stuff he was writing, is what I heard. Again, coming from just a fan's point of view. And then they kicked out ICS Vortex because they said he was not wanting to do anything. He was not wanting to do anything but drink and then not help write or something like that. I don't remember. It was unflattering for both of them. But the keyboardist I had heard was because he wanted more writing credit for all the keyboards that he was putting down in the songs when he wasn't getting any credit for it or something. But I don't know. Like I said, this is why I want to talk to people, because I don't know. I just hear what little bit I hear, and it's one of those things where I used to think when I was younger, I used to think I was so freaking cool because I knew these bands that other people couldn't pronounce, and then now I'm at the point where I realize I don't know squat. I used to think I was so cool because I knew stuff about these bands, and I don't know anything about people. So
yeah, and he is currently raffling off his pasty china that was done recording Demu, Old Man's Child, like all these bands, and it's like $20 a ticket.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he says he has so much cool shit with history that he doesn't even think about it. Like it's during that podcast where the guy's like, "So what do you do with all the gear?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just in this huge storage area. It's just sitting there." He's like, "Well, I think maybe the fans would be interested in it." And he's like, "You think so?" Like he legitimately, he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, I have like a China symbol and all this stuff that I helped record both Demu albums and Old Man's Child. So I guess he's starting that."
Well, that'd be cool. I mean, if he's got a lot of stuff, he could make some.
You have the China symbol for one of the most important extreme metal albums of all time. Yep.
What, my last album?
Yes.
That was a joke, everyone. I do not feel that way about my music, trust me.
You do.
Maybe I should put that I Was Walking song as my intro for that podcast.
Well, you have my permission. I don't care.
Yeah, I can just see putting out the first one with Steve and using that for an intro, and then talking to people about doing it, and they're like, "Dude, I heard the first 30 seconds. There's no way."
I don't know, put some synths behind it or something.
The quality recording we did with a Pandora, a Korg Pandora digital 4-track, and a little microphone set up in a brick room.
Or this is what you do: use the first half of the song as the intro, and then once you're done, use the grindcore part as the outro.
No, I think if I use any of it, I'm just going to use the end. I just started off with, "And here's what I did." That scream you do at the end is awesome. That wow at the end. I can only do that when I'm burping. Pterodactyl Jason. Okay, I need more. I keep wanting to use my tracking harvestables, but that's the wrong glassy. That's the glassy on the other account. There we go. I also need to find some Supermarket Fantasy and Stand There and Bleed stuff for Steve, and then maybe a picture, so I can have that up while we're talking on the stream. Or I could just figure out a way to put his face up on the screen as he's talking, you know, his camera. I need gold, I need lion meat, I need mountain beans. But I know one of the things that if I was able to get Byron on, one of the things we would talk about would be his books. Because if you get on his page, you see a lot of the stuff he's talking about are his books, which is awesome. And then Dark Heart's writing a book, so it's like I feel like when Groucho Marx was king of the world, pretty much back when the Marx Brothers were one of the top comedy acts in the world at the time, he never saw himself really as what's the word I'm looking for? He never saw himself really as legitimate, I guess, because he kept surrounding himself with writers and famous artists and stuff like that, because that's the kind of people he felt like he wanted to be around, artists and stuff like that. I don't know where I was going with that, but I don't remember which has gold. I think it's not this. I think it's the other one. Yeah, this is carbon. But he, even though he was at the top of his game, he never felt like he belonged there, kind of thing. And I'm nowhere near the top of my game, but I don't feel like I belong there to start with.
Yeah.
But I surround myself with people who are really good at what they do, kind of thing, is what I want to do. Because I don't feel like, I keep saying, I don't feel like I have the qualifications to be doing what I want to do.
Yeah, but then you also do shit and you succeed and you still feel that way, so you need to...
I have never succeeded in nothing.
You succeeded in sucking ass.
Look, I'm 56, not even level 80.
Whose fault is that?
Everybody else's. Where's my participation trophy? And Zach's
the participation trophy store. Go buy it.
And Zach's was saying that on the live server that his necro is out damaging me now, so I can't use that as a little feather in my cap anymore. I have twice as many hit points, but I actually looked at my mounts and kicked up my my like deity pet and my what do you call them? My familiar and everything. And once I did that and got the proper mount on and everything, I was at 430 million hit points.
Nice.
So, not this character. This character's at 3,700. Almost 3,800. But I think I'm level 56, but I think I'm still wearing like level 20 gear. Level 40, that's 40, 30, 20, 40, 20.
I'm at 19,000, but
at level 80?
Yeah, but I need gear. That's where I'm suffering.
You need something, all right. I'll tell you what you need. You need a good thrashing. That's what you need. Oop, there's a beast in. So I wanted to, and like I said, the big thing I want to do about this though is it's not going to be about me. It's going to be about, like, if I start talking to Steve about Stand There and Bleed, I'm not going to go, well, I did this and I did. It's going to be about Steve. It's not going to be me jumping in
But the
going.
thing is you'll be able to connect with the person through what you've done as well. As in, I've had a similar experience. Here is, the abbreviated version of my story. Because if not, you're not going to really make that much of a connection. It's more like if you don't do that, it's going to kind of sound like a job interview.
So tell me, Byron, where have you sang for before?
Mm-hmm. Your name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
You have any references?
You look familiar. Could you stand over there with a lightsaber for a second, please? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I know there's one thing that's probably going to piss him off. When I tell him that the first time I ever actually heard Balsagoth was when I downloaded Battle Magic off the internet back on the 486. I accidentally downloaded the song for free, but that's what got me
If you
into
didn't
that
download
band.
that song for free, you wouldn't have bought the six albums. So
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I might have because Balsagoth is an awesome name, and a lot of the times when I would go through the magazines, or not the magazines, the catalogs I used to get, I would look at uh, musical style, what their genre was. I would look for where they were from because I would try to find stuff that was very like when I bought Xenophobia from Slovakia or Slovenia. I was looking for stuff that was, not something a lot of people are going to have heard of. Wow, that's an epic ×3 here. I didn't know that.
Tashuga.
Yep, Tashuga is one of them. I saw that name and I was like, I have to have this. But then I would look for where they were from. Sometimes it was a genre, and then I would look at the name, and then I would look at what it said about the band. So, like the first time I ever bought The Gathering, it's because it said sounds a lot like Tiamat, and I loved Tiamat. So I bought the album Nighttime Birds, and I was like, this is nothing like Tiamat. It's because they were what I was looking at was some of their earlier stuff before they had female vocals when they were still death metal.
T-Mat just released a new music video like 3 days ago.
Did they?
Yep. I got about 20 seconds in and said, fuck this.
Is it still gothic?
I couldn't tell you. All I know is I was like, nope.
I'll have to check it out. Some of the stuff he did when they went all gothic was I actually like. It's easy to sing along to and whatnot, but watching the videos I was like, cringe. I guess that's what you're into. And what is it Jim Cornette always says? For people to like that kind of stuff, that's the kind of stuff they like.
I love Jim Cornette.
I love listening to him, but I can't usually listen to him like right now because I'm not working. And anytime I hear his voice now, I start getting all nervous because I start thinking about not being at home and having to be away from home all week long. And I'm just tarded that way. Why am I doing this? I don't need anything from this. I need a fish. I need gold clusters, and I need lion meat is from the beast dens. So I need beast dens. I need the blue rocks on the ground, and then I need to go fishing. Gone fishing.
The Beast Den boys and West End girls.
Not this stuff. Not the penumbra ore. I need the blue stuff. I actually liked Pet Shop Boys when they first came out. My buddy Mike bought their album.
Yeah, they got some good songs.
Don't need anything from that. Don't need anything from that. Ah, there we go. A swarm of fish. Which sounds like good dinner. I love fish.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You love fish too.
Pippi.
So now I need to come up with a title or an actual picture card for the podcast. Oh, you know what I should do? I don't know if I'd be able to do it or not. Maybe I should see if Christoph wants to do a conversation kind of thing.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Christoph Spiadl, the Lord of the Logos. The guy who drew my Evil Trismegistus logo. For free. I still owe him CDs for that.
Here's the thing. Does he speak fluent English?
I've seen in one of the interviews I saw of his, he lives in London, or he lives in England. Where's that? There. No, it's not that one. He I'm looking for something as I'm talking. He sounds perfectly fine. He's got an accent, but he sounds perfectly fine. So,
cool.
So I'll show everybody real quick. Okay, so this picture here, everybody. This is the album cover from my album I released in 2006. That logo on top is the one I hand drew for Evil Trimegistus. And then, so that's the one I hand drew. It looks a lot like the Fog Warrior one I have. And then, where is it? And then this one is the one that Christoph Spiottel drew me.
Yeah.
So the story behind that was I was on MySpace with Stand There and Bleed, and Steve told us that we had to. Oh no, wait, that was Stand There and Bleed, and Steve said we had to make our own separate pages in case people clicked on our picture and wanted to go to our private pages. So I did that, and I made one for Evil Trimegistus, and I made one for my Zebus project, and all this other music I was doing. And I got an email one day from a guy named Christoph Spiottel, which I'm saying his name wrong. And I was like, who the heck is this guy? And I opened up the email and it said, Evil Trimegistus, what a good Greek band name. Would it be okay if I drew you a logo? And I was like, who the hell is this guy? I already have a logo. I drew it myself. And so I looked up Christoph Spiottel online and got to this page that said Christoph Spiottel, logo maker for thousands of metal bands, has done logos for bands like Old Man's Child and Emperor. And I was like, what? And so I went from who the hell is this guy to sending him back an email saying, I would be completely honored if you would do my logo, but I don't have a lot of money. I don't know how much I can pay you. And he said, don't worry about paying me. Just give me like 6 copies of the CD when it comes out, which no CD has ever come out. That CD came out with the old logo in 2006, which was like 10 years later. But that was because that CD was just the 3 first demos, 2 new tracks, and then 1 hidden track I was going to put on one of the demos that I forgot about and found when I was doing the CD. So I still need to. I was thinking I could see if he'll do an interview, and then maybe if you have Worma, I could get him on. I could do Yuha, get him on, do an interview with him. I don't know how good his English is. I've spoken to him on.
Worma.
Yuha,
Worma, whatever the fuck.
That's easy for you to say. But see, there's 2 non-musicians that have to do with music that I want to talk to. I mean, I would roll over and die if I could get King Diamond, but I'm sure there's a couple thousand people trying to talk to him every day. Come on, just give me 1 gold. There we go. So that's all the gold. So now I need mackerels and lion meat. So I need to find beast dens. Rancid Roots, wasn't that a band? Oh, there's some fish. And the list grows. I'm afraid I'm going to talk to somebody, get somebody who might actually want to do it, and I get them on, and everything just goes completely south as soon as it starts, kind of thing.
Or it goes just as you fucking planned it, and it goes so well that when you ask somebody else, you can say, here's this one as an example, They listen to it, and then you get more people. Because if you stall and you never do anything, then guess what? It's never going to happen.
And nothing ever goes wrong.
Who gives a fuck if it's 2 great hours and there's like 1 or 2 hiccups? Who?
Well, I'm expecting you got to have hiccups because if you don't have hiccups, it's not going to. There we go, Beastin. If you don't have hiccups, it's not going to have any character. You got to have 1 or 2 things go wrong.
Yeah. And it's also a modeled form of heartburn.
Very true. Very true. That's what I'm doing.
I don't know. I think the only person that I would geek out about would probably be
George Carlin.
Fred Diablo.
What's he doing now? He stopped playing music altogether?
He married a model and now he's like fucking. He started modeling and doing all this shit. And from just what I've heard, like third-hand stories, he's like living the hipster life in Norway.
Wow.
I'm like, what?
That kind of makes everything he recorded kind of interesting. Well,
You can't go from come fucked face of death to scarves and fucking.
Yeah, to Johnny Depp.
Exactly. Like, you know, what are those fucking shoes everybody wears now? Not Birkenstocks.
I don't know. I just wear slippers.
They're the ones with the fucking holes in them.
Slippers? All shoes have to have holes. How else would you get your feet in them?
Very careful.
Hey, my nephew Santos is live on stream right now. He needs 5 more followers to affiliate.
Who?
Santos.
I don't know who that is.
That's Sonny's sister's oldest son.
He's probably a jerk.
No, he was streaming when he was over here living with us for a while. And we bought him a green screen and everything. I don't know, what is he streaming? Let me look.
What's his name?
The God Santos.
The God Santos?
Yep. Yeah, he's got no ego whatsoever. Let me see what he's streaming. He is streaming.
A card game.
Doesn't say anything yet. League of Legends. He's playing League of Legends.
Well, I can't believe I just subscribed to League of Legends player.
You just subscribed to it?
Yeah.
4 to go.
Now back to the good stream.
I have him muted so I can't even see. He's playing on a PlayStation. Oh no, he's got a computer. He's got a better computer than mine. He worked all summer last year and made his own money and built his own computer.
Nice.
And it's better than mine. It looks cooler too.
Yeah, like I said, I'm probably going to build a new one because this one is still a monster, but the one thing back then, 5-6 years ago, when it came to building this that I'm lacking is storage. I think I have
Forage.
storage. I think I have
storage.
like maybe one. Well, I have like a 500 gig and then a 250 gig solid state drive. Like solid state first came out when I built this.
So 1930s?
I don't know. It still does a 7.8 on a speed test.
Nice. Mine's not that great, but
When I first bought mine, it did a 7.9. And me being the person I am, the guy who built it, I'm like, what the fuck? I just spent like $3,000 on this and it only goes to 7.9? You said this was going to be a fucking monster. Why isn't it like 10? And he's like, it only goes to 8. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
you should have been quoting like Spinal Tap, but these go to 11.
Because I was like, what the fuck, dude? I spent all this money and it only does a 7.9? What the shit? He's like, dude, 8. I'm like, why does it stop at 8? I can't remember his reasoning, but I was like, should go to 10.
There. I can't put his sound on. Or else I'd put his sound on and watch him in the background. But I watched him stream the other day, or not the other day, a while back. When I first started streaming, he was streaming. And he was just on, and one of his cousins was on Discord with him. And they were talking like a bunch of idiots. And I said something in chat, and he didn't notice it for like 5 or 6 minutes. And he was like, "Oh, holy crap! Hey, John, what are you doing?" Oh, we're done here. Okay, so where am I? I don't even know where I am. I just been wandering. I was walking with my pet. Why are you making sounds like that?
I'm doing my deity quest line.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to kill 4 Divinian Dragoons. Well, they are a complete random spawn. And so I clear the entire room, and it's like a 24-minute respawn. And I've cleared it 6 times, and I've only killed 3 of them.
What are they called now?
Divinian Dragoons. They're Dark Elf.
Where are they at? Are you in?
I'm in Crushbone Keep.
Hmm.
All these scary level 20 mobs around me, I don't know what to do.
I had the weirdest dream last night. I was living, I think I started off living, I was at Grandma Henson's house. And she wasn't there. And then she got evicted. And we had like one night to get everything out. And so we got everything out and still had no idea where she was. And then I was over at the house on Demery. And the house was like 3 times as big as it normally was. But I was sitting in the front yard playing a PlayStation. The PlayStation was across the street, across the Demery. And there was a cable running across the road to me. And then somebody came to work on the street. But we never knew where Grandma went. She got evicted and we couldn't figure out where she was.
That's weird. That's like the time you moved. And I think you were up north and you were coming back down to like get your truck. Like the moving van or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was going to help pack all your stuff up, and everybody pulled out lawn chairs except for me. I packed up all your shit. Everybody's just sitting there talking. And I just got off work, so it was like, did construction work for 8 hours. Hot as shit, and I remember, like, I'm like, "You guys having fun?" And my dad's like, "Yeah." Like, you sack of crap.
Was that when I filled up the Ford Explorer?
Yep.
And then tried to take it up with Rick, and we couldn't get it. We were going to haul the Explorer up, but then since it was the limited edition, you had to have a special tow set up to be able to tow it. And we were just going to tow it behind the rental truck because it was having electrical problems. And so we would start driving it and get about 10 feet, and the wheels would lock, and it would just start bouncing down the road with the wheels locked. So I finally looked it up, and it said, "You have to purchase a special towing package to be able to tow." I was like, "Screw this." So I left it and told Grandma, "Just sell it."
Yeah.
And I had to leave like 150,000 books because there was nowhere for me to put them. I told Grandma, "Just donate those, have them come pick it up." Oh, that was a sad day. Alright, so now I gotta go get stuff from Enchanted Lands and Orcish Wastes.
Yeah, because like I did the partying thing for so long, and then like got into games and stuff. But then once you and Michael moved away, like I went back into not so much partying, but I was around all those people just having a good old time.
Yep. Well, I moved up there. I kept moving because I kept thinking that there was going to be something that was going to fix my life somewhere, and it wasn't me. And so I just kept moving around trying to think that I would find it by just going other places and finding it somewhere, or dating somebody who was going to fix me.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I would start dating somebody and they would start to fix me, I would be like, I'm fine the way I am. What are you doing? So that is the looniness. That is me. Right, so we got to get fish here too. Enchanted lands. Yep, shark fins. All right. A thong of fish. Oh, no, throng of fish. A thong of fish. That sounds really bad. So the first couple of people that I know I wanted to interview is Steve. I want to see if I can get Byron. I want to see if I can get Howard from good old Mortis. And then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
If it goes on at all. If I can't even keep my freaking schedule going. I don't know if I should call it a podcast or not, because it's not actually a podcast. This is the zone I was thinking of. There's a heritage quest over here on the beach, which I think I already started. So it's the guy right there. I didn't actually start it. I got the quest, but I haven't actually done anything with the quest yet. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself here for a sec. Well, that won't work. No, that won't work either. I got Santos up in the background. I'm gonna ask him if he's hit 50 yet, but I can't because then it'll broadcast. Well, I can broadcast him online.
Bitch.
Yep, that's
God
it.
damn it. Why? Oh, hi Shelby, how's it going? Oh, somebody's following me on Twitch. Nice. Thanks for the follow, Cynical Optimism. Appreciate that. Got 4 more followers and I'll be at affiliate. Oh shit, man. Can't believe we got gank there though. We're 1-2-1. That's not really good. Dragon's coming in 40 seconds. We can no, we're not gonna go over there anymore. We're gonna get blue buff and then we'll gank, and if we don't get to gank, then we'll go to the dragon.
I just sent him a message saying I'm trying to send them people to hit 50.
Yeah, we can do that. We have our ult and all that, so we'll go over here.
He's over at Sunny's parents' house.
If not, it's not the end of the world. We need to upgrade our smite, so that's what we did. Okay, they cleared bot at the sacrifice of losing a champ, but that's alright. Okay, control ward.
He's wanting to go into
Beetle.
Santos is wanting to go into game programming, game designing, and then he's a weightlifter.
Okay, we're gonna go for Drake.
Nice.
So he's actually got his first competition coming up in April.
Hit the side. Now they're gonna know I'm here.
I've always went for strength and aesthetics, but never
Okay, we're gonna pop.
have I been interested in like starving myself and.
Nice.
Right. He doesn't do that. He does the
smited too early.
he does the working out and he does the
oh, they got rift. Let's go.
protein shakes and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
And he's he was
help him out.
he was sponsored by his trainer to be in the show coming up in April.
Damn. Is he gonna be hiding?
Cool.
Where is he? They're both coming.
He hasn't seen what I said yet.
I'll wait right here. I don't know where the Jax is. He might be. He might have went to his blue buff, honestly.
But he just now, when I got on, said,
Yeah.
"Thank you, Cynical Optimism, for following me on
He
Twitch."
knows I'm here.
So,
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna move out of the way. I'm gonna get sandwiched right there. Okay, that Jax is weak. I can get
Hell.
him. He's level 7 too, so that's also
all right.
good.
So I need to find some fish. I got him up in the background. I'm waiting to hear him answer my question.
This bitch doesn't even know what's gonna happen.
So
Watch
that's
this.
the God
Ready?
Santos in the background, everybody. He can't hear me.
it.
He's not on my
Get it.
Discord. So.
Help, Talon. Talon, help. Talon, oh my god.
He's dead.
Talon, why? Talon, why? Yon too, he went the long way. Yon, you also went
He didn't even know I was
long
streaming.
way around. I hate when teammates don't follow up with team fights, dude. Like, what the hell?
Now he's going to be on freaking YouTube too, because I'll put this on YouTube afterwards. So that's the God Santos on Twitch, everybody.
What's up, John?
There
How's it
he is.
going? Hey Santos, you hit 50 yet? I'm telling people to follow right now. Cynic is my cousin. I'm streaming right now. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I seen his follow. But I haven't hit 50 yet. I have 4 more. So
Cool.
after your friend just followed, it's 4 more. Oh god, dude. We need to really gank somebody, dude. And it's hard because they said jungle dip. Dude, you're literally losing your top just because you can't like sustain it. How you gonna blame me for that? Ridiculous. And every time I try to go help him, he scares away the teammates so they can't do anything. Or I can't do anything.
Oh, where's that tongue
Watch
fish?
this.
Where's that
See if
tongue
he says
fish?
jungle different after this.
I just had a tongue fish. Where'd it go?
Oh, he will.
There it is.
He's still gonna say it. Oh, I couldn't even hit it. Oh, he pushed me into the turret. But that doesn't matter. Oh my god, he put ignite on me. Wait. Did I took some type of like poison damage.
Yeah, he was here all summer. We were driving him back and
way.
forth to work.
Cool. Keep
He was working in a walnut dehydrator.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
He was working at a what?
Yeah.
A walnut
I'll have to
dehydrator?
check out the stream after too.
Oh, they
when
said
I'm done.
Walmart. I'm like, huh?
No, he wasn't working at Walmart. He's only 15, so he was. We live in Exeter. There's a walnut dehydrator, not on Anderson, but the road right after. If you're going down Visalia Road, and you go past Farmersville, the next road on the left, there's a walnut dehydrator right by the nursery. And he was working at the walnut dehydrator. He would go work 6 to 8 hours a day, and all the money he was making was just for him. So he bought some weightlifting stuff. He bought a new computer, put some stuff in it. We got it running, and then he was streaming from here. Do I need roots from Enchanted Lands? I didn't even see. Did that pop anything up? Oh, I didn't gather anything. All right. A Tussa root. Do I need those for the quest? Yes, I do. I need 15 Tussa roots.
All right, I'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna call my mom.
Okay. All right. So. how
Yeah,
late
I'll
is
be
that?
back in a short bit. I'm gonna call my mom. She got out of the hospital last night.
Cool.
All
Well,
right.
let me know how she's doing afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, later.
All right. See you.
All right, so everybody who's joined, which is not very many, I'm doing the Cloak of the Harvester quest right now, which is a lot of harvesting. So this is one laid back. I've been talking 99% about music and 0 about Everquest all day. All right, so there's all the Tessa root I need from this zone. I have a Wendy's hamburger sitting right in front of me. I haven't eaten yet. Okay, there's Fey Iron and Supple Loam, and apparently I don't need either one of those. Okay, there's a Natural Garden. This is the food. Wild apples. Don't need. Wild apple again. Don't need. Nothing found. Don't need. Nothing found. Don't need. Green tea leaf. Do I need that? Yes, 15 green tea leaves. I seem to remember back in the day there was a tree ant. There was a named tree ant that would cruise around over in here somewhere. There's a named badger over here that would pop up. They're all grays. Yeah, there he is. The great burrower. But there was also a named tree ant that would cruise around. But I haven't seen him in years. I don't know if they took him out, if he's only a quest only spawn or what, but I killed him a few times on Glassy. But I haven't seen him in a long time. Every time I run through here, I'm looking to see if he's up. Oh, come on. It's 15 of each. And luckily it's not... Oh, a glimmering material, of course. Just what the doctor didn't order. So those 7 count as 7, not as just 1, because there's some, I think, there's some quests where it'll tell you you need to do like 10 of this, and if you click on it and get 9, it only counts that as 1 because it's one time you've gotten it, kind of thing. So let's see, that's 8. Let's see how many I get. That's 3, so I should be at 11. Yep, so each individual one counts. Cool. Just 1. Gotta get more than 1. The gardens are the ones that take the longest because there's so many different things that you get from the garden. Don't need no stinking apples. I think Everfrost beans are... Nope. I thought Everfrost beans was 1. Oh, cucumbers is 1. I seem to remember there being a named beetle up here on this hill too, on the other side. And everything's gray, that's why nothing's attacking me. It's all way too low level. I've out-leveled this zone a long time ago. Clickanix. See, there was a name that was over here. Those are all just regular soldiers. Did I not need residual ore? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think I needed anything from residual ore. It's supple loam and... Yeah, I don't need anything from that. I don't want to get too far from the docks because I'm going to have to use the docks to go to Zek once I get everything from here. Okay, that's residual ore, don't need it. Velvety roots, I got all the roots already. There's a garden. There's a named wasp that spawns over here on top of this hill. Spawns over on top of that hill right there. I killed it a bunch of times back in the day, but it's been a long time since I've seen it up. Yeah, I don't see it. It would be right in there somewhere. I haven't seen that one up in a long time, so I don't know if it spawns anymore or not. Rhythmic stone. I think I'm gonna need rhythmic stone. I think. Let's see. Open line. Yep. What is the gem for this level? Is this the... Oh shoot, what is the word I'm looking for? The green one. Oh no, that is the gem. The open line is the gem, isn't it? It's the brown gem. Looks like that. That's agate. I thought it was a really ugly or brownish. I don't even see it. Oh, because it's probably being taken straight for the quest, so it doesn't show up in my backpack because it's being absorbed by the quest. Griffin meat, and usually per level there's like one type of pelt and 2 types of meat. Although I think one of the other levels has 4 different types of meat. Or it might be the meat comes from something else. There's a paper. At least my skill is going up. That's the important thing. I'm getting what I need and the skill's going up. It used to be back in the beginning where if your skill wasn't high enough to harvest anything in that zone, you wouldn't be able to harvest. You would go to click on it and it would say your skill level is not high enough. But then a while ago they switched it to where you can harvest, you can be level 1 and go to one of the end tiers and harvest there. You just won't harvest anything, but your skill will go up. I preferred it the other way, where you had to get it up to a certain level and then it would work in the next zone. Kind of defeats the purpose. There's so many zones in this game. So many places to go and see things. I mean, it's just crazy. Did I get everything I needed from the... No, I don't think I did yet. Oh, almost got the green tea leaf done. Valium, that's what's this one. So I'm saying a lot of the stuff here that's gray, it's not going to attack me because the level's too low. Although a gray con did attack. When I attacked a gray con epic ×4 on the live stage, on the live server, is when I got hit for 1 quadrillion damage. 1 quadrillion 340 trillion, I think it was. I was being all cocky and everything. I was like, "Ah, watch me kill this guy in 1 shot." And as soon as my spell went off, I died. And I looked over at my parser and I was like, "What?" I had to stop for a minute and count over to see how big that number was. I was like, "Let me do this right. 1 quadrillion 340 trillion." I only had 300 million hit points, so 1 quadrillion was a little bit more than was needed to kill me. Okay, that guy there starts a heritage quest. It is the reaching blade of the assassin for the serrated bone dirk, which was a dirk that most assassins wanted in EQ1, I think. I got all the wood. Yeah. I had to fix the UI on here. This little thing you see here. Oh, it's not going to show it. Let me harvest something. So this little window you see that pops up right here, it disappeared. I don't know where it went. I didn't shut it, but it just disappeared. I couldn't find it. I don't know what that window is called. So I reset everything to default, and then went into my folders, searched for Glaciolabolus, and found the Glaciolabolus UI Kalladim little text, and deleted it. So then when I loaded this guy back up again, it said, what UI do you want to use? And I just copied it off of Glassy off the Match Duel server, and then everything went back to normal, and that popped back up. So I don't know how it disappeared. I don't have it on, it's locked in place, so I can't move it. So I don't know how it got turned off. Okay, green tea leaf is done. How many cucumbers do I have left? 5 cucumbers to go. Isn't Two Toes the bear in where I'm going to be going next? In Zek, isn't Two Toes the named bear? Pepperfrost Ice Beam. I finished the Rhythmic Stone stuff. What do I need? Enchanted Lands. I need cucumbers, Valium clusters, griffin meat, bear meat. Okay. So I need some of the rocks. I need. Oh, I need to Rhythmic Stone then. Wait a minute. Yeah, Valium clusters. I need those from here. I got all the opaline. I need Valium. There we go. And a rare item. Cool. So the Valium's done. Get the rare item. I got a couple of rare items now. So now we need. That's Beast Den. Beast Den. That's the wrong one. This is Beast Den. Beast Den. Natural Garden. Okay, so Beast Dens and Natural Gardens. There's a named bear that would. There's one. Animal Den. And a garden right there. There's a named bear that would pop up over there too. Triple up heroic. Killed him a few times. I see a shiny over there. Oh, 3 on the bear meat. Cucumbers, how many do I need now? 2 more cucumbers. So there was a named bear over here. Doesn't look like he's up either. Papers on the ground are like collections quests, but they're pages for books. But they count towards collections. There's a collectible right there, and I think that's a rock right there, isn't it? Yep, we need that. Oh no, we don't. I finished that one, didn't I? I just needed beast dens and gardens. Or animal dens, yep, animal dens. And the gardens. Glimmering materials. Okay, still need stuff from the animal dens. The meat seems to be harder to get than the pelts. The pelts seem to be something you get quite a bit. The meat is a little more difficult. Well, not as difficult as a rare item, so I'll take it. You don't need those. Always need papers. Papers, please. Some of these book quests you can finish by buying what you're missing off a broker. If anybody else has already got it and put it up on a broker. Some of the other books have one page out of the entire collection that's no drop, which means you have to actually get it yourself. It cannot be traded between players. Oh, there's all the cucumber I needed. I need bear meat and griffin meat, which is animal dens, so we just need animal dens. So find me some animal dens. Oh, is that an animal den right there? Or is that a rock? That's a rock. Animal den. Yep, there's one. There's griffin meat. God, that's gonna take forever. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that. Always take a paper. See, this is where the named guy would pop up. That's just an impaler wasp at the moment, so that's not the named guy. Animal den. If you look at them from the back, they look just like the residual ore, but if you look at them from the side, you can see they're different. I don't mind it not finding anything because my skill's not good enough. As long as my skill goes up, it's always a plus. Something's happening. And I'd rather get nothing and the skill go up than get more etched pelts. Because I don't really need those for anything right now. Shiny shards. Is that a beast den right there? Animal den? You can tell it from the side, not from the front. Yep, another animal den right there. Bear meat, so that's good. Got 7 of those. We're going to do that a couple more times and then we can get out of this spot and go to Zek. But there's another animal den right above us. Cool. Oh, enough with the pelts. How many do I have now? 71 friggin' pelts. Another pelt. 7 more bear meat, so that's going to put us close. Yep, 15 and 15, so we're done with that. And of course I get another 7. Now I need griffin meat, which comes from the exact same thing. Hmm. So there's 5 of 15, so we need 10 more griffin meat. More animal dens. You go across that bridge there and you go into the mountain that leads you into Rivervale, which is the next level up from this level, Enchanted Lands. Don't need that, don't need that. I thought I caught that out the corner of my eyeballs. I don't need bear meat, I already had enough of that. I need griffin meat. Frickin' pelts. I'd like to drop you right in the batatas. That's a Young Ones reference. Actually, that's a Bad News reference. There's a 10 right there. God, with all these etched pelts and bear meat, I need griffin meat. There's one. So what are we up to now? 6? Jeez. Betcha. Animal Den. Another pelt. Another pelt. Another nothing. Another nothing. And a pelt. I see a shiny over there. I'm a bird watcher. I'm a bird watcher. That's not how the song goes, but there's an animal den. That's what we need. So there's 7 out of 15. And of course I got more bear meat. I need griffin, not bear. There used to be these book quests in the beginning of, when the game first came out. You could get these books from like in town. You'd find them in the different areas in town, and you would read it, and it would say, you would read the first page, and it would say 10 kill. What are these, grove badgers? Stupid tree, get out of my way. It would say, it would have like some story, and then it would say, kill 10 grove badgers. So then you'd come here and you'd kill 10 grove badgers, and then you'd pop the book up, read page 1 again, read page 2, and it would say kill 10 grove badgers. And so you'd have to kill 10 again. And I think it did that like 3 times, and then when you read the 4th page, it would say kill 10 of the turtles. What are those? Sand snappers. Kill 10 sand snappers. And so you would kill 10, then go back and read page 1, 2, 3, 4. And then read page 5, and it would tell you to kill 10 sand snappers. Go back, read page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then kill 10 sand snappers. Read page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it would tell you, you would do that like 3 times. So it would be 3, 6, and 9. And then the last one would tell you to kill 3 of the rare spawn mobs that will pop up. Not named mobs, but the rarer mobs. So the ones that are not named mobs, but they spawn the same. Grove badger, grove badger. And then once you would kill like 6 of those, then the book would be done, and you would get experience for finishing the quest. But then you would also get the book. And so when you go to Glassy's house on the live server, and you see how many books he's got in the room there, a majority of those were done that way. Killing 10, read the page, killing 10, read the page, killing 10, read the page. There was a bunch of different books that way for a bunch of different zones. I remember doing that in Thunderous Steps. I remember doing that a lot, doing the book quests. But I don't think those are in the game anymore. I haven't seen them on any of my new characters in a long time. There was some for the sewers too, and I think about it. And then you have the books that still drop, the ones that are like the tour of the Enchanted Lands, which will have you go visit all a bunch of places of interest in the Enchanted Lands, and then once you would finish that, then you would get the book. And I've done a bunch of those. Tour of Antonica, I believe, was the first one I did. Well, I'm not finding anything but the skills going up, and like I said, that's all I really need. Just need animal dens. Just animal dens. Let me finish this. Animal dens. Not residual ore. Animal dens. I guess shinies will work if it's one I don't have yet. Don't have it. Animal den, animal den, animal den. Anybody? Bueller. Bueller. Click on the page. There we go. I see somebody else running around back there. I wonder if they're looking for the same thing I'm looking for. Don't need the arbor anymore. I just need animal. Yeah, I see they're getting rhythmic stone. I wonder if they're doing the cloak too. Yep, there's an animal den, but let me get the shiny first. Already have it. How packed are my bags right now? Yeah, they're getting up there. Griffin meat, that's what I need. Where are we at? 8 of 15. Okay. Come on, give me a 7. Give me a 7 of griffin meat. Well, it's one of the few times where I'm unhappy that I got a rare. Crud. Alright. Just need animal den. Animal den. 1, 2, 3. Animal den. Nope. Don't need a thong of fish. Animal dens. Never gonna get a cloak if I don't find an animal den. Well, if I got somebody running around in here looking for stuff, I'm gonna run out here. Since everything's gray to me, I don't have anything to worry about things attacking me and dying. So I'm gonna come out here and run around and look and see if I can find anything. I want to stay closer to the docks because I want to be able to get back to the dock and go back to Thunder Steps and into Isle of Maris, so I can turn this in when I'm done. But if what I'm looking for is not there, I might as well come out and look for it out here. Hence, Animal Den. Griffin meat. So now it's 9, 10. Boo. Let's see a page over there. Oh, was that Animal Den right there? Frickin' etched leather. Bear meat. I can't bear it. Anyways. Oh, there's another one over there. Glassy's got his collections page has a bunch of these book quests on them. Because some of the pages will like spawn in certain spots you gotta click on. Other pages will spawn like from fights. It'll be a drop from a fight. So we're almost there. I see a shiny over here, I think it is. Yep, there's a shiny. Hey, enchanted maple. Animal Den. Give me an Animal Den. Hey, the name is up in the lake. The sludge creep. I've killed that thing about 100 million times. There's no point in me killing it now because it's gray. So it won't drop any loot and I'll get no experience because it's too low a level. I'm level 56 and he's level 39. Yeah. So there'd be no point. Rather let somebody who can get experience or get the items from it and use the items from it. Rather than me just killing it for no reason. Well then. It's griffin meat. We need one more griffin meat. No, you wouldn't. Where am I at? Okay, I want to go this way. The docks are back over here, so I want to go that way. I think there's a named evil eye floating around too. There's the last one we needed. Okay, now everything else should be in Zek, so that's where we're headed to next. Coming through, hot stuff, mushy mushy. Wait a minute. Well, I think I added to my buff, but can't fly. I don't even think they have flying in this yet. I don't think the Time Lock server has implemented the flying stage yet. Get discovery experience down here. Discovery experience over here. Oh, over here. I don't think I'll get discovery experience at the wall because I think I've already been there. Obviously. There's Sir Taters, or Tatters. I think it's Tatters, just 2 T's. Yeah, Tatters. In the quest where you gotta find his stuffing. Here's the shiny, what is it? Serrated Bone Dirk. I was thinking Shiny Brass Halberd for some reason. That's over in Zek. It's not here. Wait a minute. This guy is... I think this guy is the Shiny... or Serrated Bone Dirk. This is the Brictolosis or Bristlebane deity. Quests are from there. This is, yeah, Bristlebane's over there too. Okay, so can I get to Isle of Mar from here? Nope, I gotta go to the steps, and then once I pop up in the steps, then I can go to Isle of Mar. Okay, come on, load. It's loading faster, that's good. Okay. Isle of Mara. Oh, where am I going to Isle of Mara? I need to go to Zek. I finished the ones in Enchanted Lands, I haven't done Zek yet, so I'm getting ahead of myself. Alright, Zek. I think I'm gonna stream for another 15 minutes and then I'm gonna log for the day. It's only 3.5 hours. But I got food sitting in front of me I need to eat. Alright, so do I need fish? I need shark fins, don't I? Or shark fins were the last one. Do I need out of the water? No, shark fins right there. There's a fury of fish right there. Fish of fury. There's 3. I don't think Glassy's been in this zone yet on this server. So this entire server, or this entire zone is going to be Discovery AA. I'm looking for fish, there we go. There's a lot of stuff in the water here in this bay. When you first get to this zone, when you're the actual level for this zone, there's a lot of stuff you do down here in the water. And you get a bookcase from Ismina here when you finish her quest. All the underwater tree ants. Usually when you're looking for fish, they're going to be close to the shore. They won't be like out in there. The ones for harvesting, they won't be out in the ocean open. They'll be close to the shore. And they won't be gray like that because that means that's such a lower level. They'll always be white like that. I don't want carps, I want shark fins. Don't want carps. Shark fins. Well, I did say shark fin. I can't complain. It gave me one. There's a named siren over here. Who spawns up there, I think. Not the very top. I think she spawns like right here. Kalladim, Tulian. Welcome to the stream. Tulian there, everybody. Tulian streams EQ2 almost every night, it seems. Make sure you follow him. He's been doing this forever. Yep, only need one more fin. And it's funny when you first go watch his stream and you see him on camera, the first thing you'll say to yourself is he laying down? And the answer is no, he's got a very comfortable recliner. I just spawned another one on top, or am I just failing to get the last? Alright, we're done with the fish. We need everything else. Alright. I'm just doing a short stream today, Tool. I'm doing the Cloak of the Harvester. I got up to Zek and I'm going to end my stream here in about 13 minutes. Snow, where the heck do you live? I don't think I ever knew where you lived, Tulian. You live in Kentucky? Does it snow often? Is it like a normal winter thing, you get a lot of snow, or? Because where I'm from in Central Valley, California, I've been here for 50 years and it snowed 3 times. Ah. Cool. I've worked in the snow a few times with my job, especially up near Tahoe. We actually had to cancel a Thursday because of the snow, and then worked the next Friday, and it snowed on us while we were working. Alright, do I need mudstone? Yeah, well, when I've had to work in the snow, the first time I had to work in the snow, I didn't bring the proper clothing. So I was standing in Tahoe in the snow with just a pair of work boots on with regular socks underneath it, one pair, a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, a hoodie over my t-shirt that had holes all over in it, and then my high-vis vest over that, and my hoodie pulled up over my head, and then my hard hat on my head. And I was out there for 10 hours that way. Yeah, that was the first time in my life where I was actually shaking from being as cold as I was. And then as we drove home that week, we stopped in Ripon, town of Ripon, and I bought a high-vis jacket, I bought a high-vis sweatshirt, I bought really thick gloves. I was prepared after that. So it was my own fault for not reading what the weather was going to be like. And I had to go once to work in Walker. That was a 5-hour drive. And we went through Nevada. We had to go over a pass. And the guy I was with was driving. And we drove through a snowstorm in the pass that was so bad you could barely see the tail lights in front of you. And we finally got to the hotel, and I told him, I am so glad you drove through that snowstorm because I never driven in snow. And he goes, neither have I. I was like, well, thanks for not telling me at the time. That would have made it worse. Oh yeah. I've gone anywhere from, with this job, I've gone from 3 degrees in Walker to 112 degrees in Ridgecrest. So I've been at both ends. How'd you end up in Kentucky from Ohio? Oh, I gotta go through cucumbers on this one now. That doesn't sound weird. Everybody's like that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Flattened bed of thistle, I need that over there too. Am I the only one in this zone? Nope, there's a warlock in here too. Oh, cool. I have lived in California my entire life. I have never... Well, I take that back. The first 6 months of my life, I was in Kansas because my dad was in the Army. So I was born in Tulare here in California, and then went to Kansas, slept through a tornado that tore the roof off the house, and then when I was 6 months old, I flew in an airplane back to California. Been here ever since. I've only been out of the state like twice, 3 times. Once to Washington State, twice to Washington State. Once to Wyoming, once to Atlanta, once to Colorado. So I've been out of the state like 5 times. Very sheltered. If I could work my way, I would never leave this house, but that's just me and my looniness. Come on, give me some meats. There we go, 3 bear meat. Alright. There's more griffin meat, so that puts us at what? 2? Yeah, 2. Oh, there's 3 though, so there's 5. Do I need... I don't even remember if I need ferric ore for anything or not. I didn't need fey iron, so I don't need supple loam, so no, I don't need ferric ore, okay. I need the other one. Man, after you've gotten the ability to track harvestables, and you come to a server where that's not available, you really miss tracking harvestables. Holy crap! See, my brother lives in Illinois. He lived in Indiana and he moved across the border to Illinois. And they get tornado warnings all the time, and I don't know how people can live like that. I mean, I see tornadoes on TV and I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I would build a house out of like solid bricks of concrete and have everything underground and nothing above ground. But I guess if that's something you're used to, it's not such a big deal. Oh, I needed roots too, didn't I? Yep, tussar roots. That's crazy. I've been through living here in California, especially with my job the last 4 years. I've dealt a lot with the fires. I actually had one of the wildfires start up while we were running traffic in Yosemite, and I had a ranger come flying up at full speed and slam on his brakes in front of me and get out of his truck and say, "Any traffic coming this way, you stop it and turn it around and send it back the other way. This road's closed. You guys have half an hour to get out of here." And I was like, "Don't tell me, tell my boss." But the only other thing other than that I've been through is I've been through earthquakes. Hey, there's one to turn in. The Kalinga earthquake was not very far from where I live. That was back in the 80s, I think. Nothing like, I think we were getting ready for school that morning. And then all of a sudden, it just feels like somebody picked up your house and starts, like you're standing on waves. Never been through a earthquake that did damage, but. And I'm just kind of used to getting aftershocks from earthquakes around California. You just be laying there and all of a sudden the chair will rumble a little. And I know I didn't do it. But that's pretty much it here. Just heat waves, bad air, drought, fire. Yeah, some of the bad ones, like down in LA and San Francisco, you would still get the aftershocks here in Central California, but nowhere near as bad as what the actual earthquakes were like. And Dosrith, Michael Colt, he lives up in Crescent City, and when the giant tsunami hit Japan, they had to evacuate Crescent City because they were expecting the tsunami to come across and hit Crescent City. And it did. It did come in and damage the harbor, but it didn't get up anywhere near as high as they were expecting it to. Somebody took a time lapse of it, and you could see all the water leave the harbor, then all the water come back into the harbor, and then all the water leave the harbor again. Yep. They had Crescent City is where they had a giant tsunami in '64, I think it was. That, yeah. You can get tsunamis out of rivers. It all depends on what's going on. Not rivers, lakes. You can have tsunamis on lakes. It's all just displacement of water. My niece Kelsey has a morbid fear of tsunamis now, and she lives in Crescent City. I don't think she ever thought of it living here in Central California, and then. Oh, yeah, and the fjords. There was one in Alaska that was because there was a collapse, a landslide, and the land hit the water and created a massive tsunami. Holy crap, that's massive. Hey, I don't have that quest yet. Oh no, they're coming to get me. I can tell they were coming to get me because my parser went red. Have some rocks. Well, a lot of times when you see tsunamis, they don't look like what you would expect a tsunami to look like because it's just a giant swell. Well, most of the wave is under the water, and it's not until it gets close to land that you'll see it get up. I think they said in the Japanese tsunami the highest wave was 130 feet. Swayzy quazy, yeah. I mean, seeing the Japanese Coast Guard boat that was out at sea go up and over one of the waves was interesting. But when you watch them hit the shore, it's just the water just like overflowing your bathtub is what it looks like. Not your bathtub personally. I mean, just overflowing a bathtub. Do I have all the briarwood I need, or do I need any more? I'm done with those. Alright, no more briarwoods. Briarwoods can take off. Frickin' hosers, I didn't mean to click that one, I meant to click that one. Indonesia. Yeah, the one in Indonesia. Keep your ferric ore, I don't want it. Yeah, tsunamis are no joke. I remember when I went to San Francisco. I went recently to see my stepson, and and Abe went. We went on a tour in the Bay. Boxing Day. That's English, isn't it? English or Australian, or is it both? I remember going to San Francisco and going on a tour of Alcatraz just on the boat. We never got off the boat. We just went around the bay. And I get freaked out when I'm on the ocean for some reason. I get freaked out of like I'm gonna fall in and drown or something. There's so much water under me. There's so much stuff in the water. Well, Australia was mainly well, it had its indigenous people, and it was populated by British criminals. Yeah, it was a penal zone. Just like America had regular indigenous culture living there, and then the English came over. Well, this is a waste to run around the frickin' thing. I already got all the fish I need, don't I? Yep. I want to hop on my flying mount and go back to the beginning, but they're not in the game yet. What's that? No. It's not the one coming up, it's the one after. Coming through, get out of the way. Thank you. Mudstone. Do I need mudstone? Yep, I need. No, I don't need Valiant. Yeah, I need Valiant. Valiant and Opaline. Am I full of Opaline already? Nope, I just barely got any. Okay, so we need the Mudstone. We need. Yeah, it's so tough. No. ferric ore. I need mudstone. And papers. Your papers, please. I'm still got level 20 armor on some spots. So I need to spend some time upgrading this guy. He's only level 56, so I still got a ways to go before. You don't have to do that. Did I finish all that? No. Wait. No, I need friggin' cucumbers. Friggin', I tell ya. Well, when I started streaming, my first series I started streaming was this character, Glass Bolus on Kalladim. I was going to solo everything. I was going to do it like I did in the beginning. And let me tell you, it was not as easy as I remembered. But then again, after playing on the live server, where everything is super easy, coming to here and remembering what it was like back in the day, you remember why this game is multiplayer. I tried killing the Scarecrow King and was getting wiped. I was so used to playing Glassy on the live server and just nuking things like 4 or 5 times and it dying that I came here and the Scarecrow King just wiped the floor with me. Oh, okay, don't need more opaline, and I already have all the Valium. So now I need griffin meat, bear meat, cucumbers, and oh, I didn't finish the roots. Thought I already had. So I need cucumbers and then all kinds of stuff from the animal dens. Are the roots done? Okay, roots are done, so I need flattened bed of thistles and animal dens. Cool. How many cucumbers I need now? Is that it? That's it. Alright, so now I just need animal dens. This is a tower. Yeah. Deer Carcass. Sounds like a country band name. Animal dens, anybody, animal dens, anybody? Just throw them at me, animal dens. Michael was doing that with, he had like, I think headphones in. He was running the game through his regular speakers and everything, and then he had headphones connected to his phone so he could listen to music from his phone without it coming over the stream. So like the music you hear in the background right now, if you can even hear it, I have it turned way down. That's music I wrote, so if anybody declares a copyright on it, it's me. So once I'm done streaming here, I upload it to my YouTube channel, so I better not ever get anything against it because it's my music. The intro music is my music, the music in the background right now is my music. Don't care about that stuff, I want animal dens. It's gotta be one of the things for them. Cool. Yeah, he's, what is today? What's Wednesday? So he's at work right now. At work and loving life. He was the GM for the casino, and the new tribal council was voted in. And as soon as you get a new tribal council, they all like to flex their muscle by firing all the people in charge and rehiring people they want. Why is that? Did you guys see that orc walking up the wall right there? He's walking up the wall right there. So when the new tribal council came in, yeah, when the new tribal council came in, they were like, "Thank you for your 12 years of work here. Get out." So there's a restaurant slash brewery on what is it, Frontage Street in Crescent City, which is right along the park, which is right along the ocean. And they were looking for a manager, and they told him what his position would be. And so he was like, "Cool, I'll take the job." And then they didn't have him doing what they thought they were going to have him doing. He was a marketing manager for the casino forever. He was a GM of the casino forever, general manager. So he knows how to do what he's doing. He's a trained chef, so he knows how to cook. And the place he's working at now is owned by a gentleman and his son-in-law. The son-in-law's wife, the gentleman's daughter, is a teacher, but since there was no school going on, she left teaching to become a manager at that place, at the restaurant slash brewery. She has no training in it. She doesn't know how to do it. When they brought Michael in, they told him he would be helping with the schedules and he would be doing managerial things he knows how to do. And they made him work the night shift, so he doesn't get to see his family very much. They will talk things over during the daytime. The owner, the stepson, or the son-in-law, and the daughter. And Michael will come in to do his night shift, and the daughter, who doesn't know what she's doing and freely admits she doesn't know what she's doing, will then just already have her stuff ready to go. And as soon as Michael gets there, she'll say goodbye and leave. And then Michael has to find out from the employees there that he's supposed to be the manager of what's going on, instead of from the other manager who won't talk to him about anything. And Michael will go, "Hey, what if we marketed this way? If we said it like this, it'll sound better than the way you're planning on doing it." And they'll say, "Yeah, we'll look at that," and then just blow him off and then put it up the wrong way. So he's not having the greatest time right now. Not because he needs to be in charge, but because he sees things that he knows needs to be done and nobody's listening to him. And they told him he wouldn't be working nights, and he's working nights. So, yeah, he's not having a great time. But Crescent City is not a very big town. It's a tiny little town, so, and it's very remote. When I was a manager there for Home Depot, when I went back to Atlanta for a meeting, I stood up to announce who I was, and I was like, "My name's Jonathan. I'm the MEAS from the Crescent City Home Depot. We are 4 hours from the nearest district store, 8 hours from our main district store, and 2 hours from the nearest store to us that's in another state." And I remember the guy next to me, I remember him saying under his breath, "Holy crap, I thought we were remote." So when I first started there, for my boss to come visit our store, he had to take one full day for travel, 1 day to be at the store, 1 full day for travel back to Sacramento. So I always thought, in my very limited travels, that if you went north in California, you got to San Francisco, then the Oregon border was like right on the other side of San Francisco. The Oregon border is another 8 hours from San Francisco. So to go from where I live in Exeter to San Francisco is 3 or 4 hours. To go from where I live to Crescent City, which is the top left of California, is 10 hours. Yeah, there's a lot of California up there. And once you try driving it in one drive, let me tell you, I've made that drive 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done it drive like 6 or 8 times now. And the first time I did the 13-hour drive, I went up the I-5 all the way to Oregon and then took a left and came back down. So it's very remote. There's a lot of Northern California. But I have to say, Crescent City, if you've ever seen the Star Wars where they were fighting with the Ewoks and they had the speeders going through the forest, that was filmed outside of Crescent City. It is beautiful up there. It's usually raining sideways, but it is beautiful up there. Yeah, it is. I took a lot of pictures of the beach and I used them for album covers. So on my Bandcamp, on the Happy Stuff, no, on actually Fog Warrior, the first 3 album covers are all from Crescent City. And then the 4th one was from Sequoia National Park, and then the 5th one was drawn by Juha Vorma out of Finland. And then the 2 full albums and the EP I have sitting on this computer waiting to be finished, I have no covers for yet. I haven't worked any out yet. I don't know if I want to go with Juha Vorma again, because they're just going to be digital releases. They're not going to actually be physical releases. Come on, give me what I need. What do I need Griffin? Yep. Okay, come on, give me a 7 Griffin. Come on, 7 Griffin meat. Ah, come on, 7 Griffin meat. 7 Griffin meat. Ah. You and your etched frickin' leather. Oops. Have some rocks. Oh. They're all still alive. They all paused at the same time. I thought they were all dead. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you guys and make you attack me. You're all Greycons. I shouldn't have had you attack me in the first place. I'm always picking up shinies and papers because I'm doing my part to stop littering. That's what it is. That's what I'll tell myself. I'm helping clean up the litter in Norath. Alright. See you later, Julian. I'm going to log off here in a minute. I was going to log off 20 minutes ago, but I'm going to log off here in a minute. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody make sure you follow Julian there. He'll be streaming EQ all the time, usually at night. And his guild is always killing shiznits on Kalladim here. Make sure you follow him. Subscribe if you can afford to. If not, following's free. And I'm gonna go park this guy and I'm gonna log so I can eat my food. And then thank everybody for watching. What is today? Wednesday? I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm thinking about changing my schedule. Especially if I'm gonna do this interviewing thing. We'll see. It's still up in the air right now. But as of right now, I plan on being back tomorrow. So I'll be back on tomorrow about noonish. On here on EQ2 because I have 7 days to die now. I still have oxygen not included. I got Civ 5. I have all kinds of games on this computer I can be playing, but I don't know why I'm running back to the dock. I'm not in any danger. This stuff's all gray. But I will be back on tomorrow at noon. Make sure, like I said, follow if you're not following. I always follow back. Subscribe if you can afford to. If not, following is always free. And I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Don't forget, Steve Fantasy is on tonight, 8:30. Steve Fantasy, 8:30 Pacific. All right, night, everybody.